Practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
My name is Chris Riccobono, founder of Untuck It. 13 years ago, we redefined men's casual style with the original Untuck shirt. Over the years, we've applied the same obsession for the perfect fit to pants, polos, and sports coats, to name a few. We've literally got you covered from head to toe. We also have a great women's collection and just launched a big and tall line too. With 20 new stores planned in 2024, we will now have over 100 globally. Visit us at untuckit.com or one of our many stores.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
69 for the high this afternoon. Partly sunny skies. Still a chance of a spot shower, but this is primarily a dry day, a dry front coming through. So tonight, cloudy skies, gusty winds from the northwest, maybe a spot shower this evening. 35. Saturday, sunny, windy, and cooler. 52. 35 and clouds Saturday night. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy. 62. Wet. Rain and thunderstorms early next week. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years. Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO. Easy to remember phone number. Or go online today at 877-25rhino.com.
Download the free Upside app and earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday. Good to see you here. We got another motion to vacate hanging out there. Really, really rude for this to happen on a Friday afternoon and make me have to pay attention to important things on a Friday afternoon. But we're going to get to the details of that here in just a second. The House has passed a $1.2 trillion spending bill. So let's get to the bottom of this. This just happened within the last hour. The House of Representatives narrowly passed a $1.2 trillion federal spending package along with bipartisan lines on Friday, taking a step closer to averting that partial government shutdown that would have taken place at midnight tonight. The legislation was expedited onto the floor, the House floor, via suspension of the rules, which bypasses procedural hurdles in exchange for raising the threshold for passage from a simple majority to 2/3. It passed by a 286 to 134 vote. More Republicans voted against the bill than for it. 112 GOP lawmakers opposed the bill, and 106 voted for it. Just 22 Democrats voted against it. Interesting to see 22 Democrats principled to vote against it, and then you have to ask yourself, why are they voting against it? And then you go, The package comprised of 6 appropriation bills that account for roughly 70% of discretionary government spending, unveiled around just enough time to get through everything, 3 a.m. Thursday night. According to Fox News, it's aimed at funding the government through the remainder of fiscal year 2024, which ends September 30th. It puts Congress one step closer to ending a months-long war that has spurred historic levels of dysfunction within the House GOP's razor-thin majority. Yeah, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, decides to motion to vacate. Now, there are some nuanced elements to this motion to vacate that I think are worthwhile to pay attention to here and make sure that we understand. So let's listen to the Fox reporter now. Brad, go ahead and play that. This is kind of the lay of the land.
John, first of all, let's make very clear that Marjorie Taylor Greene, yes, has filed a motion to vacate the Speaker of the House. She did drop that resolution into the hopper this morning, but she has not made it privileged. It is not live, which means that it's only a threat right now, a real threat to the Speaker, but only a threat. If she does decide to make this live, it would force the House to take a vote on a new Speaker in the next 2 legislative days. That's after they come back from a 2-week Easter break. Take a vote on ousting the Speaker first, not a vote on a new Speaker. Now, nothing is happening right now. Greene says that it's not personal. She likes Mike Johnson, but she says he's not doing the job.
So there's the report from Fox News on what is happening and the parliamentary privileges and whether or not it's going to actually be put into motion. There are some details there that need to be worked out. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
This bill was basically a dream and a wish list for Democrats and for the White House. It was completely led by Chuck Schumer, not our Republican Speaker of the House, not our conference, and we weren't even allowed to put amendments to the floor to have a chance to make changes to the bill. I filed the motion to vacate today, but it's more of a warning and a pink slip. I respect our conference. I've paid all my dues to my conference. I'm a member in good standing, and I do not wish to inflict pain on our conference and to throw the House in chaos. But this is basically a warning, and it's time for us to go through the process, take our time, and find a new Speaker of the House that will stand with Republicans and our Republican majority instead of standing with the Democrats.
So this is going to be the weapon of choice now, I guess, until we get a stronger majority or we more likely lose the majority in the House of Representatives, because I guess this is why we can't have nice things. I don't understand the deep details of this. It did all develop in the last hour. I was under the assumption that they would take more time to get to the matter to discuss it. Fox News reports that, let me start from here. The package, no, wait, I wanted to move forward here. Both Republican and Democratic negotiators walked away declaring victory on striking the deal. Johnson touted cuts to funding for non-governmental organizations. You might know those as NGOs. A 6% cut to overall foreign aid funds and policies like banning the State Department from flying non-official flags at diplomatic facilities. Well, gosh darn it, it's about freaking time. At least we got that. You're going to go boast on a $1.2 trillion spending bill, and it is important that you know that they got a policy that banned the State Department from flying non-official flags at diplomatic facilities. Those would probably include things like the pride flag or the Blue Lives Matter flag. Like, just fly the official flag. That's part of this. I'm not saying it's a loss, but it doesn't feel like a $1.2 trillion win, does it? Democrats cheered the exclusion of enforcement measures of the House's GOP's H.R. 2 border security bill, something conservatives demanded in order to fund the Department of Homeland Security, as well as increase federal child care funding and a $1 billion increase for climate and green energy programs. Both GOP hardliners and rank-and-file conservatives panned the bill for its exclusion of those border enforcement measures. It's times like this where you have to really ask yourself, with Republicans like these, who needs Democrats? I don't understand. I don't get at this point in time if there's any line that isn't crossable by the Republicans when it comes to standing your ground on something important. The president of the United States is not taking the action on the southern border that he's supposed to. The House of Representatives is the only place that Republicans have any sort of power that they can wield in a circumstance like this to actually get things done. And if you're going to sidestep those measures to make sure that the H.R. 2, the bill that you have passed and has been sitting there, we want to talk about the Senate passing their bill and the Republican House led by Republicans, they're sitting on it. They're not concerned about these issues that they say they are because they won't take up the bill. Schumer, you first. You go first, Chuck Schumer. Pick up H.R. 2, and guess what? Go put it to vote. Maybe it'll fail, but be on record. Do something that takes a little guts. Vote no against it, and tell us why you voted no. Because in an election year, it's important for people in the districts of those that are being represented in those states in the Senate that people understand where they are in these issues. The president of the United States isn't going to take up the responsibility to put into place the barriers, the policies that need to be enforced to secure our southern border. The House has one place of business that it can do that, and it looks like we missed the opportunity to do so. I get real tired of all the politics that go back and forth. When it comes to a government shutdown, I mean, the people who want to pull their hair out on both sides of the political aisle, whenever it looks like the other side can get blamed for the government shutdown, I'm not here for that. It's very, very dramatic. It's theatrical, and it always ends the same. We're spending $1.2 trillion that we don't have to secure a border that we do have and don't seem to care about, where we have people like Lake and Riley who are dying. We have children who you'll never know the name of. There will never be a bill named after all of the children who have been affected by the onslaught of fentanyl that's reached every nook and cranny of this country because it's coming across the southern border because it's manufactured in China, and they don't care about the well-being of the United States to the extent that their only investment in it is to denigrate it, to lower it, to ruin it. The response of the presidential administration is always political. All this administration does is react to make sure that the framing of it is politically advantageous to the people who are in power in the Oval Office. Nothing is getting fixed, and when the Republicans have the opportunity to stand up and do something about it, it seems like they're taking the pitch on it. We've reached out to Jason Smith's office. He voted for the spending bill to try to get him on. They are unavailable. But we have a few other lines in the water to see if we can get some people on to talk about this and discuss why we are where we are today. Here's Chip Roy.
Our Border Patrol and people in National Guard are getting overwhelmed right now in El Paso with a flood of migrants flooding across the border. We're going to fund that. That's what Republicans are going to do in this bill. We're going to continue to fund that. If you care about the border, you're getting nothing here. It is completely false to say that we're getting anything here that will help. And in fact, what we're going to get is more money to process more people, which means you're going to get more people at the border. Nothing is going to stop the flow of the border in this bill. So we're funding open borders. We're funding the mass releases of people in violation of the law, using parole, the same laws that were violated to release the individual who came in and killed Lake and Riley. I can't do that. No Republican should. Any Republican who votes for this bill should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, we've got a few, and I'd like to hear from some of them and hear their explanation. I mean, I understand the purpose of funding government to the extent that the necessity of government should be incredibly more limited than it is right now in this over-bloated, over-expended mess that we have at this point in time. I understand that there are things that we need to fund. Like, for instance, I would say, I want to have a fully funded military. I want the military to be able to be anywhere, any minute, any time to win every fight that comes knocking on our door and to anticipate them before they even happen. But at the same time, do you see what our government right now is doing to our military? If we fully fund this version of the military right now, this woke, did you see West Point? They changed their slogan. Their slogan at West Point is like woke now. There's a shift in the focus of West Point. I'm not so sure that I want to have a woke version of a media be super funded and to pay a bunch of bureaucrats who want to come in and teach DEI so that we can make sure that we're super sensitive to everybody else's needs when it's kill or be killed. We are living in a fantasy land with monopoly money, and our country is at stake. The future of our children's understanding of what it means to live in America and to be in America, be an American is at stake. And I guess if it's all funny money to you, then it doesn't so much matter. Here's Bob Good from Virginia on the matter.
As I think it was Mr. Rosendale who said, but to make it as uncomfortable and as painful as possible for them, to expose them to their constituents back home on who's working for them and who's working for the people here in Washington.
Elaborate on that point, because several of you mentioned that you're going to spend the rest of your majority highlighting how some of these members voted in support of this bill.
Well, unfortunately, we are left with that. And it's very interesting, by the way. Some of the members, they don't care how they vote. They just don't like us to tell people how they vote. And, if you don't want people to know how you vote, you probably should vote differently.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Virginia, Bob Good speaking there. Last one before we take a quick break here. My guy, love him, Ron DeSantis. I understand he wasn't everybody's pick for the presidency, and I understand why. I know there's a lot of support out there for Donald Trump, and I've got no problem with that. But Ron DeSantis, hard to argue that he's been a great governor for Florida, and he's got a big task at hand, specifically with what's going on in Haiti and Cuba and people wanting to come into the country, and they're going to come into the country by way of the Florida coastline. Here's what Ron DeSantis
We're
said.
facing invasion, inflation, and indoctrination, and Republicans need to be using their constitutional authority to stop it, to fight back on our behalf. There's never a better opportunity to stand up for the sovereignty of this country than right now. We see illegal aliens overrunning border barricades along the U.S.-Mexico border. We've had 10 million pour in. We see criminal activity perpetrated against American citizens by people that Biden has let in. When is enough enough? If not now, then when are you going to be able to fight back against this? If the Democrats want to have a fight about keeping the border open, that should be a fight that we want to have. Don't give Biden everything he wants and let him continue all his disastrous policies.
Yeah, I would agree with the governor on that issue, and I wish that we had more of that mentality. Of course, I think he was part of the original Freedom Caucus in the House of Representatives. Marjorie Taylor Greene, on the motion to vacate, has spoken and has put that out there. We will see what ends up happening next, and I'm sure it'll be chaotic, of course. $1.2 trillion spending bill passed by the House. That's the news of this morning. When we come back, we're going to get to what I missed this week. Brad will walk us through some of the clips that we didn't play and stories we didn't cover. That will be here when we come back. And the YouTube live chat poll for today, picked by Brad, would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? We are watching the countdown. We heard today earlier that Donald Trump has about $500 million in cash accessible to him. I think it was supposed to be for the campaign. It's money that he raised. It's not the RNC money. So everybody calm down. No, I'm just talking to you Democrats who like to try to push that in front of the Republicans' face, of course. He says he's got $500 million. Will it be enough? Will his appeal go through and it gets bumped down to about a quarter of what has been asked for? And if it gets to the point where those assets are seized in order to meet the bond that is outrageous in New York, does that help Donald Trump politically? You go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, the live broadcast today. Come say hi. Leave your vote. We'll be back in a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
She said, where'd you wanna go? how much you wanna risk. I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. I love talking to Stewie about everything that's going on economically with the Fed, why they choose to do what they do. He's my go-to, kind of my guru for understanding what's happening at the Fed. But it really all comes down to downstream mortgage rates. And mortgage rates go up, they go down. When you are looking to buy a house, though, you need to kind of hit the market at the right time. Sometimes you can do that better than others, but you can always do it best by working with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. The Bagel Loan, only available at Stewart's American Mortgage, is there to make sure that as you go through that process like you would anywhere else, getting a mortgage, that you're positioned perfectly for a fast close, less than 2 weeks, the ability to generate your own pre-approval letters so you can send those in and do it on your own. Once you get pre-approved, his website allows you to do that. You're going to pay nothing in closing costs. Thousands of dollars, not back in your pocket, they stay in your pocket. And it's with the Bagel Loan, which is only available at Stewart's American Mortgage. I've refinanced twice with the Bagel Loan to lower my rate. And if you're looking for a new mortgage or you want to knock that rate down from where you got it, maybe at where they are at their highs to where they are now, it's not going to cost you anything to do it because you don't pay those closing costs. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan for more info, and MLS number 226715.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Getting in your comfort zone with a new HVAC system is more affordable than you think, thanks to 0% financing for up to 72 months. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
A people, a state of mind, all in one. It's Wiggins America, and it's every Saturday from 6 to 8 a.m. and Sunday evenings from 5 to 7. So stamp your passport. Wiggins America, 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
I'm gonna drink my whiskey, gonna have my man, I know you got nothing to say. I'm gonna have my man, I'm gonna steal their hearts and save for another day. Ain't gonna hang my hat, ain't gonna take off my boots, ain't nothing gonna stop me in my pursuit. My stage, time to rehearse, gonna see all the wonders of the universe. Pack my bags and mount my horse, I'm gonna ride on into the
This is a gross miscarriage of justice. Remember, this was a fraud trial. The only fraud here is that AG Letitia James is masquerading as a competent attorney. She's weaponized the justice system against him, and it's terrible for all Americans. It undermines due process and undermines the rule of law.
So that's the Attorney General of the state of Missouri, Andrew Bailey. He was on Fox News earlier talking about the gross miscarriage of justice. Letitia James and her fetish for Donald Trump. It's kind of gross to watch out. Like, it seems like it should be a private thing, but there's Letitia James obsessing over Donald Trump and being very elated to be where she is in the process right now of trying to ruin Donald Trump. I don't know how this is going to pan out. I don't know how any of this is going to pan out, but it seems as though every time they try to cut off Donald Trump's head to grow back, it just is uncanny how much he's been able to politically thrive through this unjust system that is against him. The YouTube live chat poll for today on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We're broadcasting live there. Come say hi and also leave us a question for Ask Us Anything. We're going to do that at 1:25. It's always fun when you guys leave questions for us to answer. Today's poll question, which is in the live chat portion, is would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? Yes or no? I think there's definitely a case to be made that his ability to fund his campaign and the depleting of his resources could dramatically hurt Donald Trump's ability to win politically in November. But all of these different legal challenges that Donald Trump faces have seemed to help his poll numbers each and every time. So I don't know how this is going to go. We need your thoughts. Go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, vote in the poll, leave a comment.
What did I miss?
What did I miss?
All right,
Brad,
Annie.
you take it from here.
Yeah, I got it from here. So here's some cuts that Annie, I don't know, for lack of a better term,
What's the nice
missed.
way to say this?
Overlooked.
Annie overlooked. We only have 3 hours a day.
And there's so much stuff going on. And I picked cut number 15. It's Dr. Phil. He's been making the rounds.
I said there's a difference between equality of outcome and opportunity. We don't have equality of opportunity, but we should, and that's something we can work on. But we've got so much virtue signaling going on. Chris, right now, they decided that SATs are culturally biased, so they discarded them, right? Nobody uses them anymore. But the fact is, if you look at the science, the research says that is one of the ways that disadvantaged kids, particularly minorities in the inner city, can pole vault their way out of that. They may not have the GPA, they may not have the resources to have educational achievement, but the SAT will give some of those young people the opportunity to demonstrate the brain power, and they can get into some of the elite universities.
I love Dr. Phil.
Yeah, he's been making the rounds because he's got a new book coming out, and I have been working on trying to get him on the show, Annie. He would be an awesome guest. And he was there being interviewed there by Chris Cuomo. But what they're talking about, I'm also trying to get him on the show, by the way.
I want to talk to Chris Cuomo.
Yeah.
Do you want, that's the separate side poll, do you want to hear Chris Cuomo on the Annie Fry Show? Because I think that your initial reaction is no, but then think about it a little bit more, and then you're like, maybe it's a yes.
Maybe it's a yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, Dr. Phil is pointing something out there that I think you kind of maybe touched on a little bit when you were talking about how you believed that homework should be banned. He says that eliminating the SAT is one of the worst things that you could do. It seems virtuous, and my thing is when I look at this, people are overly concerned with seeming virtuous or appearing virtuous without actually being virtuous, and they don't really understand the consequences of their actions. So he says here that the SAT will help pole vault these struggling students out of a situation where maybe they don't have the GPA. And I never really thought about the homework thing.
Yes. Are you
Until
thinking
you
about
pointed,
it now?
I am thinking about it. I mean, I never liked homework,
Well,
but
no, I'm going to give my husband credit for this, and I talked to him about this a little bit before because this is his philosophy. And I was like, I don't feel right to just be like throwing his stuff out there. But he's an educator. He has thoughts. Of course, he does what he's supposed to do in the context of what he's supposed to do. But there is such an important thing to understand. I send my kids to a Lutheran school. And I say this because a lot of people who are trying to bring me down will say I don't get to talk about public education because I don't send my kids to a public school. Well, A, I certainly pay for public education in addition to the parochial education that I provide for my children. And B, my husband is a public school teacher and is very invested in the children that he teaches. He cares deeply about those children that he's teaching. And I want to explain something. When it comes to homework, I remember homework, you remember homework. It was kind of a part of school. When a child is sent home with homework, did your parents help you with your homework?
they tried. I mean, when I was younger, they helped me with my homework when I actually needed help, but they were very conscientious about going, you know how to do this, go ahead and do it.
Well, that's very different than my experience, which is the answer was no. The question was, when I was growing up in the 90s, I graduated in 2002, so my most formidable years in the 90s, my parents would say, maybe, they would say, do you have homework? And then I'd probably lie and say no. And then I would always do my homework. Like, I don't know. What was wrong with me? You want to talk about procrastinating? I was always trying to, like, get it done as fast as I could right before the class. Like, I was spending my second period doing third period homework and trying to cram. I got good grades. I got away with doing that. It was so much more stressful than it needed to be because I did that to myself. However, I got good grades. My parents didn't feel the need to like oversee what I was doing, and any grade that I got that wasn't maybe as high as it should have. I don't think I graduated with like a 3.8 or something like that on a 4.0 scale, and that was with going to 2 different high schools. I totally could have gotten a 4.0 if I would have applied myself, but I was doing pretty fine with the level of commitment that I have. I played 4 sports. I had a social life. I was doing, how do you say, good enough.
Yeah.
But my parents, both of them worked. They weren't sitting with me every night doing it for me, overseeing it. Like, it was almost extra if they would be like, hey, do you have any homework? And I would say whatever I would say, probably depending on what I wanted to end up doing, but I never did homework at home. There are children who go home with a backpack full of homework who not only never have a parent ask them, do you have any homework? Their parents might not be home. Their parents, the spectrum is so wide, they might have a single parent home, and that parent might be working 3 jobs to get by. And the parent isn't home because they're working to provide for that family. It's not because the parent's a delinquent or a waste of space. It's because they're working their tail off, and they're just not home to provide that type of care. Or maybe it gets to the point where you're in high school and you can't, as a parent, maybe help in the situation the way you need to. And the other tragic part of this spectrum, not single mom working 3 jobs to try to make ends meet, and kid rides the bus home and then sits at home by themselves and puts themselves to bed and feeds themselves dinner because mom is working her tail off. The other side is that one parent's in jail, the other parent's a druggie. They have other adults moving through their home at any rate doing ungodly things, and this kid is living a lifestyle that you and I will never ever understand, and they're supposed to be doing homework at home. What if that education, what if the responsibility of that education was on the educators in the classroom? Because to me, the thing that would save those kids from failing grades on homework, because I just don't, my heart goes out to these families, these children who look like, on the surface, if you wanted to be ignorant and you wanted to not look into the details of why this kid gets bad grades, they just look like a loser that doesn't care. They're not going to amount to anything. They don't apply themselves. They don't ever turn in their homework. It's hard to get them to do anything. Well, if you peek behind the curtain, they're doing a lot of things. They're doing a lot of things that a kid shouldn't have to do, shouldn't have to see, shouldn't have to live with. What if class was 5 minutes longer, 10 minutes longer? What if there was an extra study hall that was of 20, 30 minutes that was worked into the school day, where homework was given and education and educators were present to guide them through it, so that the work that was responsible, that the children were responsible for, was overseen by people who were paid to understand the content and paid for these kids to have the opportunity to have the help that they need. Because if you go over and you look at failing grades, if you look at failing schools, I don't know what the specific numbers are, but if you go over and you look at how many kids are failing because they're not succeeding with the responsibility that they have at home, and you cross-section that with the home life that they're not succeeding in, maybe that's where you reach these kids and you do what Dr. Phil was saying. You pull them out of that situation and you break the cycle. I'm for no homework.
Yeah. I mean, that person that you described there that had bad grades and didn't do well in college, or not in college, but in high school, that was me. And it was exactly because I didn't do my homework. Now, my parents, when I was younger, they forced me to do my homework. Once I got into college, I found out that, hey, if I told them I didn't have any homework or I got it all done, they'd leave me alone.
Yeah.
And I hated doing homework. Now, the reason I passed high school was because I was able to score high enough on tests to float my grades. But my GPA was garbage in high school.
But if you're smart enough to be able to pass those tests, homework, like if the purpose of homework, if homework isn't making you understand the material more, then what are you doing with my time and your time to grade this?
And that was my attitude, because it's like, I understand what we're doing. I can show you this on the test. Why do I have to keep practicing it? I'm demonstrating a mastery of the material that you're teaching me. Now, I get into college and I end up going and applying myself, doing the homework, writing the papers, getting the scores on the test. I had a 3.989 GPA in college. I almost had a 4.0. And it's because I didn't do poorly in high school because I was stupid. I did poorly in high school because I was lazy and I didn't see the point in homework. Now, if we could take homework and remove that from the situation, I would have had a 4.0 in high school.
Well, it's not even about, I'm not talking about the people who are going from a 3.8 or like you or me to a 4.0. I'm talking about the people who don't have the resources on their own. And they're living as grown people. I mean, you made a choice and I made a choice. I'm talking about the people who aren't making the choice. The choice has been made for them long before they came into this world. God bless their mothers for bringing them into this world. But after that, it's pretty challenging.
Yeah, and I think people need to understand, or at least teachers need to understand, that not all students like school. Not all students want to do homework. As a matter of fact, most of them don't. And if they can find an excuse not to do it, they're going to do that. So why bury them in something and why make them resent it?
I care less about those kids being appeased than I care about the kids who don't have the system that is even set up for them. Like, the system is set up for their failure.
Yeah, but there's a lot of overlap in that because they grow to resent it.
Well, that's but my concern on the idea and the existence of homework isn't. It's not the extra work. I think the extra work should be there. I think that more time should be provided in the institution of learning to complete it. If you don't complete it, then that's still on you. I just want to draw a clear line that when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about people who are unmotivated by doing the work. I'm talking about the people who don't have the parents who would say, or the quiet household or the calm household or the safe household or a household to get that stuff done. Anyway, do you have another clip?
Yeah, let's go with cut 18. Stephen A. Smith spoke a little bit on Aaron Rodgers because some controversy surrounded him.
Which one?
Cut number 18.
Okay, let's listen in here.
Now, for me, in the interest of fairness, I would ask this of the CNN reporter and CNN as a network. Why are we hearing about this just now if this is what transpired in 2013? How is that happening? If you're in the news business, how is something relevant 12 years later when you never mentioned it 12 years ago? I understand that Aaron Rodgers may be a VP running mate of RFK Jr., but he isn't yet. And if he isn't yet, then what would be the reason for bringing this up now? And if you're going to bring this up now, where's the evidence? Because I got news for you. After Aaron Rodgers issued his statement, the burden is on Ms. Pamela Brown.
So what Stephen A. Smith is referring to there is, if you guys remember, Robert F. Kennedy floated the idea of picking Aaron Rodgers as his running mate for president, to be his VP. And he did that. And within, I don't know if it was a day or a couple days, Pamela Brown came out and she said, hey, he mentioned to me one time that he thought the Sandy Hook thing was a fake.
That's awful.
And she doesn't have any record of it. She doesn't have any recording, nothing. She just floated this idea, and CNN took it and kind of ran with it, and they started reporting on it. And I for all of Stephen A. Smith's faults on this, I appreciate him saying, no, you guys need to prove it if you're going to allege it. And I just am very frustrated with the mainstream media and how it just seems like anytime something comes up that would threaten the power, not just of anybody in Washington, but specifically the Democrats, they see this RFK thing as a threat. And I'll get to that here in just a second, but they see the RFK as a threat to Joe Biden's ability. So anything that they can do to discredit and ensure that he stays in office, they will do, and they do it immediately.
Did you have another one before we break?
Yeah, let's go with cut 1, Jen Psaki.
Okay, let's hurry up through this one here. Last one.
These third-party candidates are a huge, huge, huge problem, and there's a number of them. If you look at RFK Jr., it's the name recognition issue, as Tom was just talking about. And there are still states in this country, obviously, I mean, Georgia is one of them, I will name, where the Kennedy name is beloved, right? Where people may just not where they may just not know a lot about the fact that he is an anti-vaxxer who's a conspiracy theorist. They don't know that yet. So this is something, there is an aggressive effort that the campaign has been working with the Democratic National Committee on to run on this, but it needs to be broad. People need to be shouting it from the rooftops, because this is one of the biggest threats to Joe Biden being reelected, is these third-party candidates.
I just think that this is the reason we see the smears on everybody, because third-party candidates are a threat to Joe Biden.
Yeah, they're really in trouble. If RFK Jr. has any success to his campaign, they're pulling, I don't know what the numbers are, but it's not 1-to-1 Trump Biden. It's 2-to-1 at minimum. Biden to Trump, and it's not going to be helpful to Joe Biden's cratering approval numbers should RFK Jr. get a little bit of that extra support of people who can't stomach voting for a Republican or Donald Trump, but maybe a Kennedy. I could pull the lever for that. That's what they might be thinking. All right, Trisha in for the B or not the B. I'm excited about this. He's going to take Ryan's spot while Ryan is vacationing in Japan. We've got some content from Ryan, too. He's taking videos in Japan. They are exactly what you would expect, and they made me laugh. Trisha, B or not the B, next.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Proper insulation in your home or business can save you money every month. The insulation experts at Koala Insulation of Gateway West in Metro East Illinois deliver efficiency and improved comfort. Big or small, Koala has you covered. Call or text Koala Insulation of Gateway West in Metro East Illinois at 314-756-5661 and find them on Facebook or check out the reviews at koalainsulation.com/gateway-west.
Paid for by Coalition Life.
Stop. Wait. Think twice about signing that petition. That innocent petition is not a replacement for Roe versus Wade. We're talking late term and partial birth, long after the baby can feel pain. But that's not all. Signing that petition obliterates parental rights. Worse, it strips away malpractice protections for prenatal care, childbirth, miscarriage care, and all other reproductive health care. So if you or a loved one is hurt while accessing reproductive care, you forfeit your rights to sue. So think twice about signing that petition and instead join us on Saturday, March 23rd, just outside Union Station for March on the Arch, hosted by Coalition Life. March 23rd is a day to stand up for the precious babies and their brave mothers in a powerful morning filled with prayer, love, and inspiration. Register today at stlmarch.com, stlmarch.com, because every life deserves a chance.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
So today's YouTube live chat poll is, would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? It's a yes or no question, but we want to hear what you think on that. So jump on Annie's YouTube page, jump in the comments, tell us why you voted the way you voted, and vote in the YouTube live chat poll. The time is 12:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Are you a business owner? Do you want your voice and the voices of your clients represented? Let us do the talking. Join our community of free thinkers on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Learn more at 971talk.com/partner. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Wiggins.
Oh, Wiggins!
The bee or not the bee?
Not with Wiggins, but with Trisha. Hi.
Hi, Annie and crew.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The segment lives on.
Here we go. Let's do this. The bee or not the bee. New York City homeowner arrested for not providing squatters with Wi-Fi password.
I want that to be the B. I'm going to will it into existence. What do you think, Leah?
I'll say B.
I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go Babylon B.
Oh, that's for sure the B.
Okay, good.
The homeowner stubbornly refused to grant internet access to a group of people who had been living in her home illegally while she was on a business trip, prompting a swift reaction from law enforcement to bring her to justice.
I love it. It's like the password is illegal. No. You mean newcomer.
Keep it PC.
Yeah.
English Women's Soccer League game delayed because teams had matching socks.
Like each
What?
Like both the team, like the home
women's
and the away.
soccer teams had matching
Real.
socks, so they couldn't play the game.
That sounds, I guess, real.
I think it's legit.
It is legit and super weird to me. Arsenal turned up at Chelsea with the same colored white socks, forcing a referee, Rebecca Welsh, to delay the start. Arsenal women ended up having to go into Chelsea's mega store and buy black socks and use tape to try and hide the Chelsea and Nike logos on them.
I think that makes sense. I'm not a soccer person. I don't really, I respect it. I think it's a very challenging sport. I've just never gotten into it myself. But if you're trying to figure out whose foot kicks what ball and they're all wearing the same socks, that would be very difficult to see.
Yeah.
It's like if you're on the basketball court and everyone's wearing a white jersey, how do you know out of the side of your eye who to pass it to, who not to pass it to? I would assume that socks, I don't think socks are as big of a deal in basketball. Unless you're really bad passing.
No, I think you're right. I think the thing that made this one a little bit more tricky, obviously not for this room of geniuses, is the fact that it was like, oh, girls show up in the same outfit and somebody has to change.
They must have called each other and planned it out. Yeah. That's funny.
Paris is planning greenest Olympics ever, meaning there will be no AC in athlete housing.
Ooh, this is tough.
Paris is it summer?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say real.
I'll say the B.
I'm going to go with Leah on this one. I'm going to say this is real.
It is real. In order to be eco-friendly, Paris is not putting air conditioning in the Olympic Village during the Summer Olympics.
Good for them. Cheers.
Instead, a natural geothermal cooling system will be used where the 10,500 Olympians and 4,400 Paralympians will stay. So it's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Be hot in there.
Gross. I hear it gets hot in the Olympic Village.
Oh, yeah. It does.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, okay.
Because the temperature is high.
Yeah, that's what I meant too.
Gets hot in there.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Steamy. Mm-hmm. Ketanji Brown Jackson warns right to free speech could lead to people speaking freely.
That's real. It might be written by the Babylon Bee, but that's real. I don't care if the Babylon Bee wrote it.
This is a B headline, but Annie's right. This is real.
Okay, you're all right. It is a B headline, and it is a real story. This is a very dangerous idea, Jackson said. Having the right to free speech plainly written into the Constitution could set a frightening precedent that would let people in the country, say whatever they want. Jackson continued to explain her concern as several other justices on the court reportedly proceeded to look at their copies of the U.S. Constitution, then back at Jackson, then back at the Constitution, then back at Jackson.
You were saying. Yeah. Sad.
Couple pays gym to let them work out naked, claiming it burns more calories.
Why would it burn more calories?
I can't think of any. I don't want to dive into that.
I would think that if you were wearing more clothes, you'd burn more calories.
Yeah, like running in a sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like wearing a garbage bag to drop weight.
Yep.
Never done that.
I haven't either, but Silver Linings Playbook, he ran with a garbage bag on.
Oh.
It's a really good movie.
Were they fighting? What were they doing in that?
It was Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, and they
they were dancing.
Yeah.
I
dancers.
remember everybody talking about Silver Linings Playbook. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
And raving about it. And I watched the whole movie at the end, and I was just like, "What?"
You didn't get it? I thought it was great.
Well,
Robert De Niro's a big Eagles fan in it.
I am the outlier in that. I understand that. And I am a huge Jennifer Lawrence fan. I've got nothing wrong with Bradley Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
I like both of those actors. I just didn't believe it. Like aren't they trying to compete in a dance competition or something like that?
Yeah, she has lost her husband and she used to dance, and and Bradley Cooper's got his own issues, and he kind of brings her back, and then they end up dancing together, and
Exactly.
It's a love story.
How you just explained it
With
at the
football.
end was how I felt after and you're like,
But
it's
a love story with football, and it's a commentary on mental health and loss.
I have no problems with any of those things. It's like, make me sound like a crap person.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I did not mean it that way.
No, I know. No, I just watched it and I wanted it. I wanted to like it, and I just it never clicked with me. You know how like when you're watching a really good movie, you're really like internally invested in the outcome of you need these characters to come to a specific conclusion, and it's all fantasy. It's all, I didn't care what happened to them. It's because I'm heartless. So
Okay.
what was it again?
Couple pays gym to let them work out naked. They claim it burns more calories.
I don't know why the Bee would write that.
Yeah,
I think the headline would be Planet Fitness
Yeah.
encourages you to
There were a-
exercise naked because they say it burns more calories. So I'm going to say this is real.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, I said real.
It is real. A couple in Brazil has taken to social media.
You should have said Brazil from the beginning. Those Brazilians are a different kind of naked.
They are very naked at their local public gym. And the wife says
You ever heard of a Brazilian?
That's what made me think of too. Like completely naked.
Yeah, completely.
Like super smooth.
Mm-hmm.
The wife said that exercise.
butter.
Yeah. I can't.
Go on.
Anyway, she said they lost 57 pounds together combined, exercising naked.
Yeah, but on what the science is it that they were naked that they...
She didn't say. But these two lovebirds also like to take naked walks and share an OnlyFans page if you want to check it out. New Boeing...
Should have seen OnlyFans coming.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have caught me off guard.
New Boeing 737 toy features wings that really fall off.
The Bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, the wings really fall off, just like in real life, said a boy in the television commercial for the product. The early success of the Boeing 737 action plane has prompted the company to introduce a complete toy line. 737 MAX Doorbuster and 787 Dreamliner de-icing failure products are expected to launch this fall.
I will be honest and tell you, and this is the kind of person I am, and the kind of relationship that Ryan and I really have. I have been avoiding doing stories of airplanes because I knew he was going to Japan. And they are not encouraging stories right now. They're outrageous. What's going on with airplanes and crash landings and landing gear falling off after taking off in doors? I just thought, I'm going to set those aside. We should get them all in while he's gone.
Okay.
He's probably not podcasting us from Japan.
Betsy, I'll come back next week with only airplane stories.
Please do. Now that you're back. Yeah, exactly.
All right. And finally, media reports Trump threatened nuclear war as he said, "This guacamole is the bomb."
This is the Bee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
After former President Trump declared his freshly made guacamole the bomb, media outlets across the nation announced that Trump had threatened to drop a nuclear bomb if he were to lose the election. This is a clear call to civil war, cried MSNBC star anchor Joe Scarborough.
Man, he's so mad.
As a
This
video of
part's
Trump
real.
eating chips.
This part is real. Yes.
You heard the words "the bomb" from his very own lips. Is there
What else
nothing
could
this madman won't do?
Is there anything else he could have possibly meant when he was talking about his guacamole? Of course not. Joe Scarborough is not okay.
No.
I said this to Tyrus. I think Scarborough needs a hug. I'm not volunteering.
No, I'm good on that.
He just seems very upset perpetually.
Yeah. Shouldn't Mika be taking care of that? Are they still
Maybe that's why he's upset.
Yeah, maybe. Fair point. Well made.
I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a relationship therapist. Just a casual observer. All right. Send us your Ask Us Anything questions. Leah's going to be out there watching the comments as they come in, looking for your questions for me, for us, for the show. We'd love to answer them. Comment on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and vote. Would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? Yes or no? We'll be right back.
At Neoviten, our goal is to create safe, dependable multivitamins to support your everyday nutrition when you need it most. That's why Dr. Ribicki formulated Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin with 20 daily ingredients, including B vitamins for energy support, vitamin C for immune support, and our 4-ingredient proprietary blend that you won't find in any other multivitamin. With a 4.8 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality nutritional support with Neovitin. And as always, a portion of the proceeds from the sale of Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin are donated to the Ribicki Foundation to support pancreatic cancer research. That's nutritional support you can feel good about. Support your best life today with Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin, available at your local Deerbergs, Schnucks, select independent pharmacies, and online with our easy-to-use monthly subscription at neovitin.com. That's neovitin.com, neovitin.com.
We're entering remodeling season. If you've considered new windows, let me recommend my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here. Here's the great thing about Window World. Not just the preferred window of our hometown St. Louis Blues, they're now the official window of the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. So if you're considering replacement windows, this is the company you want to work with. I'm a satisfied customer. I've got 2 other windows in my master bathroom. We couldn't be happier with those. They have a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, all the glass breakage and labor. There's a reason why in just over 20 years of business, they've improved the look and thermal efficiency of 72,000 plus customers in the greater St. Louis area. A Window World is fantastic. The windows are so durable. Not only do they stand behind their windows, at the showroom, they actually stood on a window right in front of me. You're going to love it. 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800 or windowworld.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A step closer to avoiding a government shutdown. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Facing a deadline tonight, the House sends a $1.2 trillion spending package to the Senate, but at least one lawmaker thinks it should cost the House Speaker his job.
Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has filed a motion to vacate against House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The Republican Speaker of the House handed over every ounce of negotiating power to Chuck Schumer and the Democrats.
Greene is among several Republicans angry with Johnson's decision to pass the massive government funding bill she believes lack conservative priorities on spending and border security. She's also frustrated Johnson didn't give members the required 72 hours to read the bill. If Greene brings the motion to the floor, it will likely happen when Congress returns from recess in April.
Fox's Ron Schmelz on Capitol Hill. Johnson's only had the gavel for 5 months following the ouster of Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. Some Republicans say removing Johnson will do nothing to further the conservative agenda. Just getting word of a concert hall shooting in Russia. State media reporting at least 3 people in camouflage opened fire at a venue near Moscow. There are reports of casualties, no numbers yet. Also reports of an explosion and fire. A sad end to the search for a University of Missouri student who went missing 2 weeks ago in Nashville. The body of Riley Strain found this morning by a barge worker on the Cumberland River about 8 miles from where he was last seen.
He was in a bar in downtown Nashville, 9:30 p.m. They kicked him out of that bar for being intoxicated. He told his friends he was just going back to the hotel. Police surveillance video shows him, however, walking in the opposite direction, at times stumbling, and yet he had an interaction with a police officer captured on body cam video that he seemed to be coherent in. So those 2 videos really showing different things, but police maintain that when they found the body, there was no signs of any trauma.
Fox's Steve Harrigan. America is listening to Fox News.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Taxes and fees apply.
My name is Chris Riccobono, founder of Untuck It. 13 years ago, we redefined men's casual style with the original Untuck shirt. Over the years, we've applied the same obsession for the perfect fit to pants, polos, and sports coats, to name a few. We've literally got you covered from head to toe. We also have a great women's collection and just launched a big and tall line, too. With 20 new stores planned in 2024, we will now have over 100 globally. Visit us at untuckit.com or one of our many stores.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
69 for the high this afternoon, partly sunny skies. Still a chance of a spot shower, but this is primarily a dry day, a dry front coming through. So tonight, cloudy skies, gusty winds from the northwest, maybe a spot shower this evening. 35, Saturday, sunny, windy, and cooler. 52, 35 and clouds Saturday night. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy, 62, wet. Rain and thunderstorms early next week. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A people, a state of mind, all in one. It's Wiggins America, and it's every Saturday from 6 to 8 a.m. and Sunday evenings from 5 to 7. So stamp your passport. Wiggins America, 97.1 FM Talk.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. Jewels on Hampton.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a...
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews for Beast Plumbing, your new plumber. Whether it's plumbing, water heaters, clogged drains, or water treatment like water filtration and water softeners, call on the best. That's Beast Plumbing, 314-500-LEAK. That's 314-500-LEAK.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm
sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're glad you're here with us. Our YouTube live chat poll for today: would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? Yes or no? We want to know what you think about this. And you can go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and you can go vote there and tell us why you think the way you do. Right now, there's some news coming out of Washington, D.C., and Republican Representative Mike Gallagher is going to resign early. This is a congressman who said that he was not going to run for re-election, and now we discover that he is going to resign early. And that majority is going to be razor thin for the Republicans. NBC News reports that Gallagher's departure before the end of his term in January is another blow to Speaker Mike Johnson and House Republicans who have been struggling to govern and demonstrate stability this Congress. I think that that's a fair assessment from NBC News there. Neither Gallagher nor his office have responded to a request for comment. It wasn't immediately clear when he plans to step down. So that's the news. Another Republican going away. It's worth mentioning that Representative Gallagher voted against. He was one of 3 Republicans to vote against Mayorkas's impeachment, and then he decided not to run for re-election. And now he's deciding to resign early. I don't think he's really invested in the safety and security of the Republican majority. It sure doesn't seem like it, but that is the latest news. Now we're going to shift to, I know that we did a poll on Kate Middleton a little bit earlier this week, and in doing so, I think it was like 26% of you were paying some attention to what was going on with Kate Middleton. Well, the Palace and Kate Middleton have released a video. We're going to play that for you here, and you can hear from Kate Middleton. She has announced that she has been diagnosed with cancer.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment. But most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte, and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay. As I've said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body, and spirits. Having William by my side is a great source of comfort and reassurance too, as is the love, support, and kindness that has been shown by so many of you. It means so much to us both. We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space, and privacy while I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery. At this time, I'm also thinking of all those whose lives have been affected by cancer. For everyone facing this disease, in whatever form, please do not lose faith or hope. You are not alone.
So that is the message from Kate. She is the Princess of Wales. She has been, I guess, missing, you might say, since January. And this is when we talked about this the other day on the air. She underwent, and the Palace said she's undergoing abdominal surgery. She's going to be off the grid until after Easter. And then a couple weird things started happening, and then the Palace intrigue and all of the questioning started to mount on top of one another, and it just started to become this big conspiratorial mess. And it got me interested in it just because of what wasn't being said in light of what was being said. You'd think that they would, if the princess was fine, that they'd come out and say it. I'm not interested in the royals as a hobby. I know a lot of people are. I respect that other people are. I'm really just not one of those people. But Kate Middleton to me is a historical figure. She's beautiful. I love that she has this beautiful young family, and I'm interested to that extent in who she is. I do not wish her any ill will, of course, but I'm not sitting there like, I didn't watch the wedding, or I don't know what other things there were that you could watch, but the wedding was a big one. But as time went on and there were Photoshop photos and no appearances after the questions started to arise, it just became a little intriguing to me. It's very sad to hear that she has cancer, and it seems as though she's in a position to potentially overcome the cancer. But the idea that, this is where I feel like the obsession that exists for people who are in high places or prominent places, if you and most of you listening here have been close to somebody who has received a cancer diagnosis, and it's an incredibly personal thing. The understanding that you have to come to grips with that yourself in a way that you might need to do before the public comes to grips with that, before your friends, your family, you have your inner circle. First, you have to hear it. Then you have to tell your loved ones. And every time you mention to somebody that you have cancer, you have to see on their face likely a version of what your face looked like when you got that diagnosis. It's a very difficult thing to do. Add in young children to it. And it's a very challenging thing. I don't think that there are reports that I have seen yet. I was trying to scour through this before we came on the air. I don't think that her type of cancer has been revealed. So I'm going to keep looking for that. I will say that there is an unusual amount of young women. My experience, I feel like it's unusual, that are of around my age, maybe 5, possibly 10 years ahead of me, in their 40s, who are experiencing colon cancer. And I don't know what cancer Kate Middleton is working to overcome. And if we figure that out, we'll tell you. Maybe they haven't said. Whatever the screenings are that you qualify for, go get them. Do not postpone them. Deal with the uncomfortable nature of whatever it might be. So I'm turning 40. I want to get a colonoscopy. I want to know that I'm healthy. I want to get ahead of anything if I'm not. It's not, I don't think, a normal thing to be like, yeah, I want to start that as soon as possible. But it is so imperative that we utilize the advanced medicine that we have to test for these things and to be aware of these things, to know your family history and everything. And I know you know that. But it does seem to me like there are younger women who seem to be experiencing these things. I mean, maybe come tell me on the YouTube if I'm wrong. But as I'm getting into my middle age, I feel like I'm experiencing younger people experiencing these things, but maybe I'm just older and this is just the way it is. But I have noticed people who I know personally in my life who have been in the position to combat colon cancer specifically, but these types of things that kind of come up out of nowhere. And it's like, how did this happen? Where did this come from? And I think early screening is obviously the best thing that you can do. I challenge you. I'm 39 and I have never had a mammogram. Those are supposed to start when you're 40. And it's like, maybe I should have been doing those already. I just encourage you, whatever. This is kind of like where it comes down to. If you are a guy, you do this. If you're a lady, you do that. There's really no way around that. There's only some people are going to get ovarian cancer and some people are going to have testicular cancer. And that's not really any way to switch those around. But whatever it is, stay on top of it. Don't fret aging to the point that you put things off, because it's not going to put itself off. Hopefully they caught that in enough time for Kate to fully recover and continue to raise her beautiful family. So that's the news. That's where Kate Middleton. I didn't know we were going to get that news today. And I know this is not going to be a Kate. I am not your source for Kate Middleton or Palace Royals news. I might not ever do a story on it again, but we had talked about it. I was interested in it, and I think that it's a reminder for all of us to say, okay, what do I need to do to make sure that I'm good? I think it's a good opportunity to look into that. I want to take a break a little bit earlier here so we can do Ask Us Anything. Leah will come in here and we'll ask some of your questions. We've got some of our questions written down as well. Anything you want to know about us? You go to the Any Fry YouTube channel, live broadcast. Leave an Ask Us Anything question. We need your questions. Ryan's not here, so we're down a person. We need you to fill in. We need you to fill in Ryan's shoes. Imagine that. You can vote in the YouTube live chat poll as well. Would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically, yes or no? We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
It's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a thought. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way.
So Air Comfort Service understands March is that time. I was in the 30s this morning. I think it's going to maybe hit 70 this afternoon. I don't know if you turn your air conditioner on. Maybe some of you do when it gets into the 70s. But if it's hitting 30 outside, your furnace is probably running once or twice today. Air Comfort Service can help you with both of those right now. I know it's tax return season. You might be getting a chunk of change back from the federal government. And you know that unit in your house, your HVAC system, needs to be replaced. Reach out to Air Comfort Service and see how they can help work with you and give you a free estimate. One of their project managers will go over all of your options. That's what they did for us when we had to replace both our furnace and our air conditioner at separate times, mind you. They told us what systems were available to us, what it would cost to fix the problem, and we were able to make a good choice for our family. And we did so with the guidance of Corey Malone and the folks at Air Comfort Service so that we made sure that our money that we invested into it was smart money. Air Comfort Service will help you do exactly the same thing. Guess what? They offer 0% financing for up to 72 months on new HVAC equipment, and you might also qualify for tax credits. Reach out to them at 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091 and get to the bottom of your solution today. AirComfortService.com.
Mortgage rates have finally dropped. That's right. Golden Oak has 5.375% fixed rates available right now. Our average cash out customer saves over $1,000 a month. Call today and take advantage of our 5.375 fixed rate. Call 314-567-GOLD. That's 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.934 APR. FHA 15-year 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Now is a great time to start planning your next outdoor project with my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Mark Cox here. You know, they're in their 56th year of business in the region. This is a locally owned and operated company since 1968. And Chesterfield Fence and Deck has such great options for you for your fence, for your decking. They've got regular wood, right? Natural cedar decks, and they've got Vecadec vinyl decking, and they got a brand new color available this year. It's pewter. It's a gorgeous gray color that has beautiful variation throughout it for more of a natural look. Of course, they do custom sunrooms and screen rooms and pergolas and patios. You name it, they can do it for you at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. If you need inspiration, call them up, go to their website, ChesterfieldFence.com, or visit their showroom in the Valley. Mention my name, Mark Cox, and get a special discount for 48 months interest-free financing for February or March. Go online to ChesterfieldFence.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Curtis Hauke is the managing editor of Newsbusters.
Tom Nichols went on CNN and was like, nobody used the word bloodbath. It's clear that you're not a sports fan. People talk about it being a bloodbath when coaches get fired, for example.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Everybody else having fun. Well, I don't miss much if it happens on the dance hall floor. Mercy, look what just walked through that door. Well, hello, T-R-O-U-B-L-E. Tell me what in the world you do.
And here is a situation which is getting focus all around the world of a particular case. Does not matter that it's Donald Trump, where an individual has had against an infraction an unduly high penalty. Many people feel that on a bipartisan basis, probably infringed on the 8th Amendment, has not been tested yet. And that is where the problem lies. Most of us that are investors in financial services want the process to continue and get an appellate court involved here for a second set of eyes. The way I view this and the way it's viewed internationally is this was like dress-up court with kids running some kind of a Halloween party with no adult supervision. We need the adults now. We need the adults to look at this.
Interested in Kevin O'Leary's perspective right there, a look into how the New York justice system appears and what it is that they are presenting themselves to, the way they're handling Donald Trump, that it's a circus. I've never heard it quite phrased like a dress-up court with kids running around at a holiday party with no adult supervision. Frank Luntz has an opinion on this issue and is suggesting that everything that the New York justice system is trying to throw at Donald Trump to try to get him, that might not be how this ends.
I want you to remember this moment, and don't forget it. If the New York Attorney General starts to take his homes away, starts to seize his assets, it's all going to be on camera. Pundits are going to sit there and scream about this. This man cannot be elected. You're going to create the greatest victimhood of 2024, and you're going to elect Donald Trump. If they take his stuff, he's going to say that this is proof that the federal government and the establishment and the swamp in Washington and all the politicians across the country and the attorneys generals and all of this, that this is a conspiracy to deny him the presidency. He's going to go up in the polls just like he went up every single time they indicted him.
Isn't it weird how Frank Luntz is always hanging around? Every story that's going on in the world, and all of a sudden, here comes Frank Luntz, and he's like, I have a poll on that. I do think that was on CNN, and I do think that I'm tired of hearing the phrase crossing of the Rubicon, because that's supposed to be a finality. Like, once you've done that, you can't go back. How many Rubicons are there past the Rubicon? Because it seems as though we are now leapfrogging over Rubicons, and there's no going back. That's the YouTube live chat poll for today, why I played those clips for you, because we want to know from you, would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? Yes or no? Frank Luntz on CNN there is saying it's absolutely going to backfire and help elect Donald Trump. If Donald Trump gets elected, is that the worst thing that could happen to these people who are, I mean, it is, like I said earlier in the show, you feel like you're watching someone enjoy something a little too much when you watch Letitia James talk about Donald Trump. She's a little too into him. She's a little too excited to get Trump. It almost feels like it should be a private matter. It's my take on it. All right, let's do it. Ask us anything.
You have to ask me nicely. Don't make me beg here.
Ask me anything.
All right, we've got Leah in here, and we've got Brad in here, of course, and Ryan is in Japan. Do I have Ryan's sound on this? No? I have to pull up the video. We're gonna play. Ryan sent us 2 videos from Japan, and they're hilarious. I think I'm gonna play them in this hour, maybe after this segment with Ask Us Anything. If you've got questions for us, you go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and drop them in there, and we will get to some of the ones that you've sent so far. Leah, why don't you go first? You ask us your first question.
Okay. So I have 2 actually.
Just do one at a time.
This first one is kind of a and/or. So the first question is, what was the last text you sent, and/or what was the last thing you Googled?
I can tell you that exactly. The last text I sent.
This might be a little boring with us. I thought it might be more fun with people my age, but I thought I'd give it a try.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What? What? What do you mean? It would be boring with us and more fun with people your age?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Why? No, tell me more about that. Tell me about the fun people. What's yours?
The last text I sent was great, thanks, and it was to Ryan because I texted him and asked him if I could post his videos on 97.1 social media, and he said, yeah. And when he said it, I'm guessing it was like 3 or 4 a.m. there. So
yeah,
and I said, great, thanks.
Did we already do that before we revealed them on the Annie Fry Show stuff?
No, I'm waiting.
Perfect.
I just.
We're gonna have a great reveal here on on our show. But you should be, what is it? Facebook, the 97.1 FM Talk on Facebook,
Instagram, Twitter,
all of them. Go connect to all of them on 97.1 social media.
And the last thing I Googled was Candace Owens.
What about you, Brad?
The last thing that I texted was, okay, no worries. And that was to Chairman Jason Smith's representative or his press contact to try to get him to come on to the show to talk about the budget and all that other stuff. And unfortunately, he didn't have any availability today, but we'll circle back with him and see if we can't get him back on.
My last text message is to an unnamed person. I'm not going to tell you who, but it was, I've had meetings all morning, so I don't really know what's going on. I'll see if we can get them on the show today.
Ooh.
And the last thing I Googled, oh man, my Google, no, I can't read that out loud.
Yeah, see, that's the fun part.
Yeah, and I'm really invested in making wise decision. March Madness. March Madness is what I Googled.
Okay.
Yeah. Your question?
Yeah. So if you could have, and I'm going to take Trump off the table because this is who everybody would say, but if you could pick any person currently alive to interview on the Annie Fry Show, who would you love to see as a guest on the Annie
Ron
Fry Show?
DeSantis.
Leah?
Anybody political?
Yeah, anybody.
Who would you pick, Brad?
I think Ron DeSantis is really good.
Yeah, go get him.
But I think I'm working on it. But I think I would really like to have Tucker Carlson on the Annie Fry Show. I think he would be a very intriguing interview.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Let's go with Matt Walsh.
Okay, I've interviewed him.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it good?
I would say so. I don't know. I think I kind of sucked. Yes.
That's so cool.
I've interviewed him multiple times. I also emceed a Vitae Foundation event with him and had dinner with him.
Aww.
He is exactly what you would expect Matt Walsh to be. And I say that, Mr. Walsh, as a compliment. What's your second question?
Oh, what would the title of your autobiography be?
Not America's Sweetheart.
That's actually good.
These are deep questions that it's hard to think off the top of your head. What would
this is hard.
No, that's okay.
I think it would be, how did I get here?
Oh.
Because there's just, my life has taken so many twists and turns, and like to get to where I've gotten and to look back and be like, wow, that is not where I thought I would end up. And like, this is way better than anything that I could have ever imagined it would have been. So.
What's yours?
Oh, I actually did a project on this in college, similar, and my autobiography was called On Air Athlete, so I'll go with that.
What was it?
On Air Athlete.
On Air Athlete. Okay. From the questions coming through on YouTube, and you can always go join us in the Annie Fry YouTube tournament. It's definitely Friday for me. I did not prepare for this show the way I normally do, as per my last text message. Patrick Riley who I think is different than Pat Riley, the president of the Miami Heat, but he said, how much of the NCAA tournament will you watch this weekend? I will definitely be watching my Illini play tomorrow, and the games around that. I'll watch as much of it as I possibly can get away with.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely be watching the Illini as well. I'm super interested in how they do this year. There's just some times where they're like in and you're like, oh, they're going to have a deep run. And then they just kind of flounder. And then there's other times where you're like, well, they're kind of okay. And then they make a deep run. So I'm super interested in that. But I think like Annie, my time's going to be limited to how much I can watch. But like she said, as much as I can.
0.
None?
I don't know anything about basketball.
She is not interested.
Yeah.
Let's do RSG. What has better food, breakfast or lunch? I will fight you if you say lunch. I said that my answer is breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. No, lunch.
What
Because
about
you can have a
brunch?
hamburger for lunch.
Could it be brunch?
That's unfortunate to be wrong. What?
Could you do brunch?
No.
Oh.
What are you eating at brunch? What breakfast and lunch foods are you eating together?
I don't. Well, it's like you said. It could be 11 o'clock, and if I want a burger, I can get a burger, but it's technically still breakfast time.
No, it's not. If you're eating a burger, that's lunch food.
Yeah.
Nobody has a burger for breakfast.
What if it's like a waffle with sausage in between?
That's breakfast.
That's breakfast.
Okay.
So which do you prefer?
I'll go with breakfast. That's fine.
Waffles, sausage, bacon,
All the bad
eggs,
stuff, yeah.
pancakes, hash browns, milk, juice, toast, English muffins.
Country fried steak.
Country fried steak could probably not be for breakfast.
Yeah. With gravy on it.
I don't know that makes
Bad news.
that's not the thing that I hear and go, oh, breakfast, okay. I would eat breakfast for any meal any day. Brunch is the best because it's breakfast food later in the day.
Okay.
So does anybody eat brunch where it's all non-breakfast foods?
No, I think we just call that lunch.
Fresh fruit salad, yogurt, parfaits, granola, all of those things. But doesn't brunch just imply later breakfast? It's just breakfast at lunchtime? Because I don't think that they're, like, you're not having, like, potato chips and hot dogs earlier in the day and going, oh, it's brunch time.
A hot dog and a side of fresh fruit. This is brunch or toast.
That sounds like my kids' lunch every day.
But it's lunch.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I always think of brunch as breakfast foods.
Breakfast food is elite. I mean, it's really hard to beat breakfast food.
Omelets.
But you can't beat a burger and fries.
Easily. With pancakes and
not
waffles.
a chance.
Okay. Your question.
My question is, what topic could you give a 20-minute presentation on without any preparation?
The show. It's what I do every day.
CrossFit.
CrossFit?
How? What would you want people to know?
I mean, I know CrossFit the way some people, like Ethan knows baseball, like Cardinals baseball. Like, that's how well I know CrossFit, and it wouldn't relate to anybody, any of our audience, I'm sure, but it's just something
we might have some CrossFitters that listen to our show.
I geek out on. Like, the way you, like, nerd out on Fox News, I nerd out on CrossFit.
I don't really nerd out on Fox News. It's my job. Well, and it's more like the news, where we are Fox News radio affiliate, of course, so we have a good relationship there. But did you answer that?
No, I didn't. I think my 20-minute presentation it's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be the gospel or it's going to be cars. I could do a 20-minute presentation on either one of those things.
How about teaching the gospel through cars?
Yeah.
Or in cars, like Jerry Seinfeld, but with Jesus and not comedy.
I think I could do that. Just drive a car, like scare somebody to death and be like, all right, so let's talk about Jesus. You came really close to dying right now.
Ender says, what's the best prank you've ever pulled off or been a part of? Have you ever been a part of pranks before? Are you a prankster?
Pulled them. Yes, I am.
What's the best one?
Somebody I used to work with, and I'm not going to name the person, but I covered their entire office in glitter for April Fool's Day.
Gosh.
That would be awful.
I made sure it got everywhere. Nooks and crannies and everywhere.
I don't know if it's appropriate to say this, but someone told me that glitter was the syphilis of art projects because you can never actually get away with it.
I know. That's why I did it.
Sorry if that's...
I wasn't fired, so...
Oh, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I would prefer you not do that to me.
No, I won't. Different.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, most of my pranks, well, my funnest one that I pulled off was I hid Ryan's candy one time, and he was really upset about it. And, like, at first it was funny, but then after it went on for a while, then he was kind of getting, like, okay, I need to tell him where it is.
Was he getting shaky?
Yeah, and angry. Like, I've not seen too many angry Wiggins, but he's like, all right, tell me where it is. And I'm kind of giggling still.
I should do something to Ryan.
He doesn't like to be. I know the irony of me saying this, but he doesn't like to feel like he's out of control. Like when he and I go back and forth on this show and we're teasing each other and making fun of each other, it's kind of mano a mano. But a situation like that is not like that for him. He does not like that.
Okay.
So just consider that. My senior year prank when I was in high school, I don't know how much I participated in it, but I was a senior when it happened. So credit where credit is due to the, 6 or 7 of my classmates that pulled it off. I've told this story before, but we were the Knights at Metro East Lutheran High School. Great school, highly recommend. We had a knight, and it's like an actual like life-size knight made out of metal. Looks really cool. And they stole it and took pictures of it. And I think we had 41 graduating seniors. They took pictures of it in 41 different places. And as we went across the stage and we got our diplomas, we all handed the principal a picture of the night and where it went. It was like in the Arby's drive-thru. It was laying across some railroad tracks. They took it to the Indiana state border and put it up there by the sign like, welcome to Indiana. They went to teachers' houses and put it on the porch of the teachers' houses and took pictures of it there when they didn't know that they were there. And they pulled it off. Like, they went and managed to make this happen, and not a lot of people knew about it. It wasn't the usual suspects that you would expect to be involved in, like, theft. And they did a great job. And the principal, Mr. Kostinsky, he was such a great principal, such a kind guy. He has since passed. But he thought it was so funny. And he put all of the pictures in a photo album. And then when he was going around to all the graduation parties, after we graduated, he took the photo album around and was passing it so everybody could see it. So to me, it was nobody was hurt in the process of this prank. It was really funny. There is a little bit of tomfoolery involved in it, but I thought that's a really good prank.
So did they like sneak it away and then get it back before they found out it was missing and then gave the pictures? Oh, that's awesome.
But I mean, like, if you have a knight standing in your lobby and it's there and it's always there and it's off to the side, it's not like how long could that be gone before you'd notice that it was gone? If somebody moved something in your office, or like in this office here, like how long would that be moved? It's not something you interact with. It's just kind of there. So I was pretty proud of them for doing that.
That's pretty good.
But I was not one of the people who was driving around doing that, but it was a pretty good prank. Did you have another question? You did your two, right?
I don't.
Did you have another
Yeah,
one?
I've got one. Who is your favorite movie villain and why?
Who's yours?
Mine's Darth Vader. I just think he's the epitome of what a villain is. He's remorseless. He seems like an unyielding force.
Does Darth Vader die remorseless?
No.
I don't think
That's
so.
what makes it so great, because you
Really?
like you see him at the very beginning and you think there's no way this guy can be redeemed. He is the epitome of evil. And then his son, who is the epitome of optimism, never gives up on him. He says, no, there's still good in you. I can feel it. And then at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, of course, it's Return of the Jedi, so that was made the year I was born. His dad comes back around and realizes that, there is good. And he
So
comes
you think a really good villain
Has a
doesn't end a villain?
Right, has a great redemption arc.
It's hard to argue with Darth Vader as a villain. I don't know if for me that I would need a villain. I don't think that. I think a villain, the end of the story arc being a great demise is just as satisfying as a redemption. So I think Heath Ledger's Joker. I'm so sad that we didn't get to see more of that, but I think Heath Ledger's Joker
That
is
was
probably
really good.
like the thing that was so perfect about his role as the Joker was that it was believable, especially enter that into today, into 2024. And a person who's put makeup on their face, greasy hair, looks like they're completely unkept, and dresses a little different, and is not well, wanting to create chaos. and having nothing stopping them from doing it, that's believable. And for a villain to be able to effectively convince you that they're a realistic character, I think, like, the more you can take that villain and put it in your mind and understand it as something that could possibly exist, the more it's frightening to me. So I would say Heath Ledger. Gone too soon. Leah?
I would say Regina George from Mean Girls.
That's funny. Well, she's a redemptive character.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. When you asked the question, I was thinking of cartoons, and I'm like, I don't want to do a cartoon, so I had to Google. So I Googled it, and I was tied between Regina George and the Ben Stiller in Dodgeball. I forget his name. Which I think that one's a little better. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah. I just like the movies.
Love the Mean Girls film. Historical documentary.
The old one? Have you seen the new one?
No, the one. There is no other
sorry.
one. No.
Sorry.
In my mind,
Yeah, no, I agree
there
with
is
you.
one.
I agree
You
with
can
you.
make it a Broadway show. You can
Yeah.
add, but there's one.
Okay.
And I'm with you on that. Regina George is
iconic.
Kind of in the same way that Heath Ledger is believable
Yeah.
as a person. Like you could know somebody who was like Regina George for sure. Not unlike Darth Vader. All right, let's take a quick break. Morning Fry Show around the corner. Go vote in that YouTube live chat poll. Would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? We'll discuss that when we come back. Don't go away.
Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
I'm embarrassed to say this. I've been using deodorant on my armpits for 30 years, and anytime I noticed odor anywhere else, I thought I needed another shower, I wasn't clean, or I felt like there was something wrong with me. And then my gynecologist told me about Lumi. It's a whole body deodorant for pits, feet, and privates that controls odor anywhere and everywhere on your body. Since Lumi, I never have to worry about body odor ever again, anywhere on my body. And that reassurance is worth every penny.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 300 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 300. LUME deodorant.com, code 300 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I am so sure you're going to love it. Or return it for free. That's LUME deodorant.com, code 300 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. LUME deodorant.com, code 300.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
Mark Cox, join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group. They're holding their next Protecting Your Retirement educational event Tuesday, March 26th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering what to do with your life savings? Are you concerned about market volatility that's likely to occur as we get closer to the election? Would you like to know why linking to the market is smarter and safer than owning the market? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any losses and provide more income than your current plan? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you can't afford to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, March 26th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet, first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Today's YouTube live chat poll, would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? This is a yes or no question, but man, there's a lot to consider whenever you think about this. So what we want you to do is just jump on Annie's YouTube page, go in the comments, and tell us why you voted the way you voted. Vote yes or no. Will it help him politically? And then tell us why. The time is 1:46. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Are you a business owner? Do you want your voice and the voices of your clients represented? Let us do the talking. Join our community of free thinkers on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Learn more at 971talk.com/partner. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Hey girl, is he everything you wanted in a man? You know I gave you the world. You had me in the palm of your hand. So why your love went away? I just can't seem to understand. Thought it was me and you, baby. Me and you until the end, but I guess I was wrong.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We have the YouTube live chat poll that is up for right now. Would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? Yes or no? Before we get to that, I'm going to play for you here one of Ryan's videos that he sent us. Now, if you're watching us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, you're going to see this play live. If you want to see it on your own time, you go to the shorts section of the Annie Fry YouTube channel. But Ryan is in Japan, and he's going to be there through a portion of next week. And he's sending Brad and me a few little snippets of his experience there. Here's one of them. Let's listen in.
You guys, I discovered something amazing that they have in Japan that I have never seen anywhere else. It is a buffet of just sweets. It's all sweets. Look at it. Look at all this. There's towers. There's white chocolate towers. But guess who won't let me do it?
Show's wife?
Because I have diabetes. It's my doctor. It's not her. It's just my doctor. Sorry about that.
So that's the first video that Ryan sent us. Before we wrap this segment, I'll play for you the second one. They're pretty ridiculous and funny, of course. So stick around for that. More from Ryan Wiggins, and he's going to keep, I think, sending us these videos. They're funny. And the next one is of particular interest. A little political interest in the next one as well, from the streets of Japan. The YouTube live chat poll for today about the seizure of Trump's assets. What do you think about it? Quick Rick says, absolutely, the absurdity of the bonding requirement in order to secure an appeal is an issue that can resonate with every American. This is prima facie evidence of the abuse of power. Ender said, I said, yes, I think seizure will get people to be like, wait, why are they seizing his properties? And possibly get them to dig into it and see how preposterous it is. So those are a couple of the responses that we've had from you. If you have a comment that you'd like to leave, come to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and tell us what you think. Brad, what do you think about this particular issue? You think it's going to help him politically?
Yeah, I think it is. Ultimately, what it's going to do is make him look more like a victim. The American people as a whole, they don't like injustice. And if you think that you've got people on your side, if you think that this is justice, I think you're overplaying your hand here. I think what people are going to look at this and say, wait a minute, I don't hate this guy. I just didn't want him to be president. And now because he had the audacity to run for president, y'all are going to take his stuff away? And I think that's really where they're going to get it. I don't think people buy that Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million. I think they'll be able to see through that pretty easily. And then just the comments that Letitia James is making on her social media about how excited she is to take his stuff. I just don't think that that's going to resonate well with the American people, and I do think this is going to blow back squarely in the face of Democrats.
Jordan on YouTube says, absolutely it will help him because anyone with a brain knows this prosecution is a complete sham. Even most Democrats are questioning it. What we all have to weigh here when we are watching what's happening to Donald Trump, I think that there are some things that he's he's been charged with or things that have been levied against him that may have an element of truth to them, not to the extent that I believe that they need to be in a court to litigate them. But when Donald Trump has the opportunity, he wins a primary. It's a very natural, normal thing to do, to go to the primary winner. They take speeches. They take speeches from the losers. They want to hear the person who came in second place justify why they're going to stay in the race. They want to hear why the winner, if they're going to focus on the American people, if they're going to focus on the party, if they're going to focus on their opponent, whatever it is. The faction of the media that hates Donald Trump, they won't take Donald Trump's speech. He doesn't get to speak for himself. And in many ways, they think that they're probably working against Donald Trump by not giving him the exposure. They say they're not interested. This is what chaps me so much. They're not interested in putting Donald Trump on their television because he's a liar and it's difficult to fact check him in real time and so on and so forth. Do you know who their legal expert is? It's CNN. I think it's CNN. Do you know who their legal expert is that's talking about Trump stuff all the time? They freaking Michael Cohen on their channel. They bring him in and they let him talk about what's going to happen next. He's like the worst of the worst skeezy liars that goes into court and then makes a fool out of himself, and he's an abject failure, but he's against Trump. So that's enough. That's all they need to take whatever he'll offer them and run with it. Because the truth is, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. If you hate Donald Trump, guess what? There's a benefit to Michael Cohen in your world. But Michael Cohen is, everyone says Donald Trump is this perpetual liar. Do you have a problem with that? And you're okay with Michael Cohen? Really? That doesn't make sense to me at all. But then again, what sense is there to make of it if really at the end of the day it's Trump bad? Anything that helps point that out, good. And it's really that simple. If Donald Trump's assets are seized to meet an absolute ridiculous bond, at some point, they're going to have to come up with a new way to spin it. And maybe it's just simply not covering it and just trying to minimize it so that the amount of Donald Trump that you're consumed on any given day is just, Donald Trump's in court again. And it just kind of fits into the narrative that they've been building since before he became the president of the United States, that he can't be trusted, that he's corrupt, and so on and so forth, which is just all of the things that could currently be applied to the guy who is the president of the United States, but we don't look at that. I am concerned about the depletion of Donald Trump's ability to campaign. And I know that there's a lot of questions behind the RNC dollars that come in and whether or not any of that's going to go towards helping Donald Trump with his legal bills. I think what's going to happen here is Donald Trump is going to have to shake out every piggy bank that he has to meet this cash bond. And then money that he was going to have to put towards campaigning is going to have to come from the RNC. And then they're going to spin it that the RNC is using their money to bail out Donald Trump. And it's not really going to be the case. And if they want to know how to move money around, just look at the Bidens. Maybe you should create some shell companies, Donald Trump, move some things around, make some deals, and then the Democrats won't pay any attention to it. I think it can help Donald Trump politically on the surface. I really think the biggest asset to Donald Trump is Joe Biden's abject failure as a president. And it's impossible to cover it up. The question is going to be, who are you going to vote against in November? Are you going to vote against Joe Biden because you know exactly what the real reality of a Biden America looks like because it's happening right now and everything costs so much more, and his wages may have gone up, prices have gone up more, so it doesn't feel better to be in Biden's America? Or are you going to vote against Joe Biden for Donald Trump, hoping that you get the economy that we enjoyed in a better time when Donald Trump was the president? Joe Biden advocates for things like green energy. If that's your key issue, then you're going to vote for that. Donald Trump vote is really, I think, his biggest foundational principle is that he is against the system, the bureaucracy, also known as the swamp. I think that that's the biggest thing that he has going for him. And the seizure of these assets is the biggest piece of evidence towards this unjust system that I think we've all been observing for quite some time, right in front of our faces. How much time do I have? Can I have another minute?
Yeah, I'll get you another minute.
I'm going to put Ryan up here one more time before we leave because this is just ridiculous. So Ryan Wiggins in the streets of Japan, literally in the streets of Japan. And he says he's at the world's busiest intersection.
So this is the busiest intersection in the entire world. We just stand here and wait until they shut down. Oh, there it goes. And so everybody just crosses. There's no rhyme or reason. Everybody just kind of goes. I almost bumped into like 4 people, but everybody's super polite. But I realized why this is the busiest intersection in the entire world, because it's just today. It's not always like this. But today, people are here to see Donald Trump. That is the real Trump. He is here campaigning in Shibuya, and everybody's here to see him.
Spoiler alert, that is not the real Donald Trump. You got to see the video. And it would make you very proud, St. Louis, to know that Ryan Wiggins is standing in the busiest intersection, what did he say, in the world, wearing a Captain America shirt. I wonder if they'll confuse him for the real Captain America. Are you Chris Evans? You look just like him. We'll see if he gets asked for any autographs. He's gonna get an autograph. People think he's Chris Evans. He's gonna sign Ryan Wiggins. You're like, you're a fraud. The videos are great. Go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and check it out. X's and O's with my friend Jen Teskey and our security guard Colin. When we come back, don't go away.
If you're looking for a senior living community, check out Hampton Manor of Wentzville. Mark Cox here. I just had an opportunity to visit Hampton Manor the other day. And again, what a beautiful spot it is. A brand new building, just had their grand opening. If you take a tour at Hampton Manor, they're going to treat you to lunch, courtesy of their private chef, Chef Scott, and the food out there is absolutely outstanding. It's convenient. Take Interstate 70 to the Lake St. Louis exit. It's about a quarter-mile north. Schedule online today at WentzvilleAssistedLiving.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
Hi, this is Steve Butts with the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. I know we're all experiencing sticker shock when you get your insurance premium. Now more than ever, you need an independent insurance agent to find the best value for your family's insurance needs. Crawford Butts, family owned and operated for more than 60 years. Please give us a call at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. Britain's Princess Kate has cancer. I'm Lisa Brady. The Princess of Wales confirming the diagnosis in a video message without specifying the type of cancer and 2 months after abdominal surgery.
And at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present.
She says a course of preventative chemotherapy is underway.
This, of course, came as a huge shock. And William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family.
They have 3 children. The 42-year-old princess says she's getting stronger every day, also telling everyone facing the disease they're not alone and not to lose hope. Her father-in-law, King Charles, is also undergoing cancer treatment, announced last month after prostate surgery. At the White House,
obviously all of us just heard the terrible news.
Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says their thoughts are with the princess and her family.
And certainly we wish her a full recovery. And I think it's important that we respect their privacy, especially at this time.
She declined to say whether the president had spoken to any members of the royal family. A surprise announcement on Capitol Hill as Wisconsin Congressman Mike Gallagher announces he won't finish his term, now planning to leave next month, which will further shrink the narrow Republican majority in the House. Right now, Republicans can only lose 2 votes on any bill. That can also complicate an effort to oust House Speaker Mike Johnson.
It's more of a warning and a pink slip. I respect our conference.
Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene filing a motion to vacate over Johnson's handling of spending issues and conservative priorities. A concert hall in Moscow in flames after a deadly attack by several gunmen wearing camouflage. Russia's top security agency says there are dead and wounded, what appears to be the worst terror attack in Russia in 2 decades. America is listening to Fox News.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
My name is Chris Riccobono, founder of Untuck It. 13 years ago, we redefined men's casual style with the original Untuck shirt. Over the years, we've applied the same obsession for the perfect fit to pants, polos, and sports coats, to name a few. We've literally got you covered from head to toe. We also have a great women's collection and just launched a big and tall line too. With 20 new stores planned in 2024, we will now have over 100 globally. Visit us at untuckit.com or one of our many stores.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
69 for the high this afternoon. Partly sunny skies. Still a chance of a spot shower, but this is primarily a dry day, a dry front coming through. So tonight, cloudy skies, gusty winds from the northwest, maybe a spot shower this evening. 35. Saturday, sunny, windy, and cooler. 52. 35 and clouds Saturday night. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy. 62. Wet. Rain and thunderstorms early next week. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Outdoor Living Redefined, brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design, your trusted partner in crafting stunning decks, inviting screened rooms, and elegant porch overhangs. Imagine enjoying a crisp morning coffee on your beautifully designed deck, or hosting gatherings in a spacious screened room. Lakeside turns your vision into reality. Our skilled craftsmen use top-notch materials to create spaces that stand up to the elements and stand out in style. Elevate your lifestyle with Lakeside's outdoor living expertise. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today.
i3 Broadband is making slow, unreliable internet a thing of the past. Unlike certain other providers, i3 Fiber delivers gigabit speed up to 8 gig for uploads and downloads. If you're sick of your internet always going down, i3's fiber optic technology is incredibly reliable, and with no annual contracts, no installation fees, and no activation fees, i3 won't lock you into anything. They have multiple speeds and price points, making your data needs accessible and affordable. Find out more, i3broadband.com.
What better way to support your nutrition than with the multivitamin that was created right here in St. Louis? Neovitin Original Multivitamin was created by St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki to support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Now, Neovitin Original Multivitamin is formulated with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend to give you nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Neovitin is now conveniently available through our no-obligation monthly subscription. Cancel or pause at any time, and shipping is free. Support your nutrition with a subscription to Neovitin at neovitin.com today.
With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage available at Navage.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You entrusted a nursing home with the care of a loved one, but they violated that trust. If your family member has been the victim of nursing home neglect, call Onder Law at 844-BEDSORE.
A people, a state of mind, all in one. It's Wiggins America, and it's every Saturday from 6 to 8 a.m. and Sunday evenings from 5 to 7. So stamp your passport. Wiggins America, 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
Like, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, that was Ryan Wiggins and his remake of my intro. If you miss Ryan Wiggins, make sure you go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and see the two YouTube shorts that he created for us from Japan. That's where Ryan is. He'll be back late next week. I would bet $100 that he's going to be too jet lagged to come back. What will he think at 2:00 on Friday next week? Like, what time is it there right now? I could Google it, but
he was supposed to do a hit on the morning show today, and it would have been like 10 to 11
p.m.
So, yeah.
So it's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
We should call him on the air. Hey, Ryan, hi.
Yeah, we should.
How
That'd
you
be
doing?
amazing.
I want to do that next week. He'll be back next week. I think he's supposed to be back Friday. I just don't. This will be his 3 a.m. I could give him 2 oatmeal cream pies, and he's going to be in the rarest of rare forms. But go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and check out the videos that he shot. They're real cool. They're from Japan. And he's going to keep doing those, I think, throughout the course of this week. So you'll have to go subscribe there. We usually do X's and O's during this time, and we're going to do it this segment again, but we have Carl Middleton from the morning show.
Hi, Annie.
During his nap time.
Yeah, but I'm going to be leaving. I'm doing the Mark Reardon show today.
Okay.
Because they're at a fish fry.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to be working Tim McGraw tonight.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means, so when you go to an Enterprise Center concert.
What do you mean you're working Tim McGraw tonight?
So, as you know, if you don't know, I play the music at the Blues games and blow the horn with this thumb right here when they score.
Do you exercise that thumb? What do you have to
I
do
do
to
a horn test before every game.
What do you do to get that thumb ready to go?
Well, I found out if you use this finger, it actually can sprain it. So that's why.
Here's another question.
Yes.
I just need to know more about the Blues goal horn.
Mm-hmm.
Can you affect the sound? Is it either on or off?
Yes.
Can you
It's spring loaded.
So but you just have to trigger it on. It's not like you could be like, meow.
No. No, it's the length of how long you keep it on.
Pressed?
Yes.
So if it's like a really big goal, it might last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it's a
Carl,
hat trick.
That is an immense amount of power.
And it's a lot of pressure, too.
Yeah.
Because if you do it wrong, you get fined $10,000.
Oh, my gosh.
Really? But we
by
don't
the league.
do that.
See, the last time I talked about this, the next game it happened.
Oh,
no.
Spin around in a circle.
Yes.
Just throw some salt over your shoulder.
Because everyone always says, have you ever done it accidentally? Well, that was during a playoff game.
Yeah.
So.
You're famous.
But
and you're on the Mark Cox Morning Show.
And yes, but when you go to a concert at Enterprise Center, the lights turn on and off, the ribbon boards.
Yeah.
I do that.
Oh, that's cool.
You have so much power. And now you've made it to Wiggins America.
Yeah. I love
Host of X's and O's.
There's a lot of pressure on this because
Don't tell Ryan that.
well, no, as I was telling Leah before we went on the air, Ryan has his own unique filing system.
So
it's like a 12-year-old's bedroom.
Yep.
yeah, he's like, I know where it is. And so he says, hey, everything's in the X's and O's folder. And so Trisha and I were going through it to make sure that everything was there. And technically, he's correct that everything is there. It's just understanding Ryanese.
Oh, yeah.
To understand what's
Did you
going
crack
on.
the code?
I think I did.
We're about to find out.
And also, I have learned something that when Ryan writes the questions and it's multiple choice, here you go. This is
it? This is the tell.
This is the tell.
We're not going to tell him that you told us. This is our secret.
The correct one is always B.
I haven't. Okay. I haven't.
This is amazing.
Yes. What else did you learn?
That he has something called Master Q&A, which you'd think would be the master of every single question that he's ever done. No, it's just the master for that week. So, and I was telling Brandon, like, he could do a master at the end of the year, like when no one's like wanting to work, you could do a best of the year's questions because you won't remember a February question in December. But that's not on this master list.
Oh, B.
It should be B anyway.
B. I'm gonna go by that.
How long will it take him to figure out that we figured that out?
He's not gonna figure it out.
Like, I've got multiple choice here. You're like B.
B. I go with B. And now we have Jen Teskey in here with Colin. They're gonna know. Not necessarily with Carl.
No.
Carl's gonna mix it
I
up.
changed it.
A.
Because I was writing these questions and I saw his past questions from last week, and I said, "Well, they're all B. Well, I'm not going to do that."
So none of them will be B.
That's right. We're gonna go with A each time.
I will tell you that's not true.
Well, we have Jen Teskey in here. I love Jen. Jen, you're my friend, and I have so much enjoyed working with you. You do realty on the Illinois side of the river. JenTeskeyHomes.com if you want to learn more about what she does. She has the best team in the business. Anytime I have any real estate questions, I'm messaging Jen or Sarah or somebody at your office. But spring is upon us, and I'd assume that this is when things start to kind of fire on all cylinders.
Things are popping. Now's the time. Get your house ready. Get it on the market.
Values of houses right now, are they stalling? Are they going up?
Regardless of what you're hearing on the mainstream media, home prices are holding steady and increasing, and we are seeing multiple offers.
Oh, so if you're, one thing that I remind people is if I'm going to call Jen, I could call you to talk about listing my house.
Right.
I don't have to call you and list my house. We could have a discussion about it.
Yes.
What kind of questions do you ask?
Usually I like to come see the property. I like to ask, have you been doing any improvements? A lot of times, if you've purchased your home in the last 5 to 10 years, I can pull your property up online and see the old photos. So I like to look at the old photos and then ask, what have you done improvement-wise? What changes have you made? That type of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's simple to do, and I highly encourage you to check out Jen if you're looking to buy or sell on the Illinois side of the river, 618-541-1010, or you can go online to JenTeskeyHomes.com, TESKE. And that's not why you're here. You're here to beat Colin in X's and O's. Colin, you've been here before. You lost a close one, my recollection.
Yeah, I did.
You lost a close one. So he's out for blood as well. So this should be riveting. I'm excited.
All right.
Carl, do you know about Todd?
Todd? No.
There he is. He's our drummer.
Oh, Todd. Yes, I do know. But I didn't hear him called
Scantily
Todd.
clad
Yes.
drummer Todd. Yes, in the
He
corner of the room.
He wears a loincloth.
Yeah, he's always back there in the corner of the room. Did you know that's where we keep him?
From where normally I stand over there,
Yeah.
so I would be able to see him, but
Yeah.
today I can't.
That glint is from the oil.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a sheen.
All right, this is where I turn it over to you as host of X's and O's.
All right, lady and gentlemen.
He's gonna soak up this moment.
Who has played before?
Both of
you
them. They
both
both
have played before. Who has played? We're gonna go ladies first.
There you go.
All right, just established.
Just
Sounds
established.
good.
X's or O's, Jen?
Oh, X's.
X's for Jen.
Yes.
And O's for Colin. All right, so Jen, would you like to pick a number between 1 and 9 on the tic-tac-toe board, which is right behind you?
Number 5.
Number 5.
Right in the middle.
Man.
Who would you like to be your expert?
Let's see.
Leah, Brad,
Or Annie? They each get to go 3
I'll
times.
start with Brad.
All right, let's do this, Jen.
All right.
Brad, it's a sports question.
Hooray!
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
This is actually an easy sports question. Why is Mark Cox crying after last night?
Oh, why is Mark Cox crying after
I like how the first question from the Mark Cox Morning Show producer is about Mark Cox, but I do like this question.
My wife said this is a excellent and absolutely horrible question at the same time.
Well, he's crying for the same reason I'm crying. It's because the Kentucky Wildcats lost. Now, I'm not a Wildcats fan, but I did have them in my Final Four, and they have ruined my bracket.
Aww.
Jen, do you agree or disagree?
Well, my boy's a Wildcat. My son went to Kentucky, so it was a tough night. So I think that's probably why there were tears.
There you go. Good job, Jen.
Sorry, Kentucky lost. I am so glad I was not on the morning show today. That's
true.
I would have been like a funeral dirge.
I sent him a text after it happened. I was like, what'd they do to my bracket? And this morning when I walked in, he just like talked to my hand right now. Like, all right.
I'm happy I wasn't there. All right, so we have the middle square taken by Jen. Colin, would you like to pick a number, sir?
Let me go with number 3.
That's a top right.
Yeah.
Well, then, hold on a second.
And who's your expert?
Who is your expert?
I'll get Leah.
Leah?
Yeah.
Let's see if this works. You have stumbled into... it worked. Okay.
Yeah, this is a big win for the Enterprise Show here on Friday afternoon.
Number 3. Merrick Garland said this week.
Oh, gosh.
Blank have maintained its power, not because of its superiority, but because of its unlawful exclusionary behavior.
What is blank?
Can you play it one more time?
I can. I can try. Come on, Internet. Wow, Todd's throwing me off. Let's try it again.
Blank have maintained its power, not because of its superiority, but because of its unlawful exclusionary behavior.
Ooh.
What is blank?
Is it a noun, adjective, or verb?
It is a noun.
Okay.
Brad knows. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great.
Have maintained its power,
Mm-hmm.
not because of
Its superiority.
its superiority, but because
If it's inclusions. No, exclusions.
exclusions. That's tough.
Yeah,
What do you
that
got,
is
Leah?
hard.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't have a guess. I'm looking around the room trying to find something to say. I'm like pencil. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's actually closer than you think. All right, so you say pencil?
Yeah.
Colin, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree on that one. Thanks, Leah. Thank you.
It's apple.
Apple has maintained its power, not because of its superiority, because of its unlawful exclusionary behavior.
iPhones unite.
Yeah.
Next target of the DOJ.
The DOJ is targeting Apple as a antitrust.
Don't even get me started on that.
Well, Jen, before we get you started,
As a real estate agent this week.
well, would you like to choose another number?
Yes, I would. Let's move on to another subject. I would like number 8.
Number 8.
That's the bottom middle.
Bottom middle. All right, Colin, I thought you picked 3.
Did I?
You did, and you
Yeah.
said...
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Are you trying to cheat?
Now, Colin, you have to erase one.
Erase the one.
Oh, Jen's on it. See, listen, if you want a realtor that is attention to detail and not afraid to take on a challenge, then you need Jen Teskey.
They brought a big guy. They brought a big guy in to try to scare me. But
Colin,
it's not
did I
gonna
forget
work.
to erase the wrong
oops.
O? My bad.
Jen, who is your expert? Uh-oh.
I'll keep going to the right. We'll go with Leah.
Leah.
All right, Leah. Ooh. Number 8. The American Heart Association flagged which dietary behavior as a potentially serious risk for heart attacks? Is it A?
B. No, A.
Here we go.
Is it a protein-heavy diet? B.
Oh, I know the answer to
vegan
this.
diet? Or C. Intermittent fasting?
C. I know.
It is
Yeah.
C. Intermittent fasting. Jen, do you agree or disagree?
Vegan diet.
I will agree.
Intermittent fasting. Or what was the other one you said?
Protein heavy.
Protein heavy.
Yeah.
It's intermittent fasting. You have a higher chance of having a heart attack if you starve yourself for periods of times of the
See,
day.
that's why
According
I don't do that.
According
right
to
now.
the
Yeah.
American Heart Association,
Today.
until they have another
According
study.
to 2:20
next year.
p.m. on March 22nd.
Right.
All right. Well, we have an X in the center square, an X in the bottom middle square, an O in the top right square, and maybe kind of a shadow of one in the top left, but we'll see what happens in the break. And when we come back, Colin,
Yes,
you going to go for the block?
I got to.
You got to go
I
for the
have to.
block. If you would like to participate with us, join us on the Any Fry YouTube channel and come say hi to us, especially if we've never seen you before. Come say hi. We want to talk to you there on the chat. And a reminder, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll get more of those Ryan Wiggins Japan videos. We have no idea when they're going to come in. Last night they were coming in late, and we'll keep uploading them there. More X's and O's with Jen Teskey and Colin when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Spring training is here, and it's almost time to embrace the essence of summer and let the soothing tones of Cardinals baseball transport you to warm, sun-soaked days. With the free Odyssey app, relive the joy of tuning in with your transistor radio, now seamlessly connecting you to every St. Louis Cardinals game on KMOX. Wherever your summer takes you, make sure to download the Odyssey app today and savor the sounds of Cardinals baseball. That's AUDACY, redefining your summer soundtrack. Live games available for fans and market only.
Jeff Lynn's ELO.
Mr. Blue Sky, tell us why.
Live in concert in St. Louis. The Over and Out Tour. Jeff Lynn's ELO. The final tour. All the hits. Live at Enterprise Center. Friday, September 6th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Stevie Nicks.
One special night, May 7th, Enterprise Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Stevie Nicks live at Enterprise Center.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Make your home comfortable year-round with routine HVAC maintenance from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month and get 1 month free when you pay monthly. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Keeping you connected and aware.
In the world, the country, and the community.
And offering more ways than ever to listen conveniently. Tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk or download the Odyssey app.
Yo, mic check. Yeah, here you go. Oh, nah, he over
The
here.
Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Let's get it going.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're in the middle of a very close X's and O's games. It's 2-1 X's, but it's O's turn. And we have Jen Teskey with Jen Teskey Homes in here playing against Colin. If you're interested in learning more about Jen Teskey and her partnership there with Remax Alliance, go to jenteskeyhomes.com. Illinois side of the river, the best bet for buying and selling east of the Mississippi. You got Jen Teskey. Colin is trying to defeat Jen Teskey. And it is Colin's turn, so I will turn it back over to Carl and Todd to commence the game.
Louder, Todd. Good
Suspense.
job, Todd.
There you go.
Thanks, Todd.
Yikes.
All right, Colin, what number? I guess you're...
2.
Do you want 2 to block?
2.
2 to block, and who is your expert?
Let me go with Brad this time.
Red Range, everybody.
Okay, has nobody picked Annie yet?
Nobody's picked Annie.
That's wild.
Saving me to the end.
Yep.
We'll make some decisions at the end.
Another multiple choice.
Here we go. B.
Trader Joe's cashews are making the news after they were recalled in 16 states due to salmonella. This is a Ryan Wiggins question.
It's what you should lead with.
How many Trader Joe's are there in the St. Louis bi-state metropolitan area? A, 2, B, 4, or C, 8?
Oh, man.
Is this a question that he has in in case of emergency break glass?
This was one of 2 that he left me.
You said this is one of 2 questions that Ryan left you.
Yes.
B.
Colin, do you agree
2,
or
4,
disagree?
or what?
2, 4, or 8?
Man.
Yeah, I'll go with B. I don't know of that many.
That's right.
Oh, my God.
It's a Ryan Wiggins.
It's a Ryan Wiggins question that he left, and so therefore the
B.
answer is B. I gave you all these hints right before we went on.
Very funny.
So there were 4 on Missouri and Illinois side. I can think of 2.
Got the block.
Fairview Heights has one, I think.
I have them pulled up. Because I wanted to look up the answer. It's Brentwood, Creve Coeur, De Pere, and Chesterfield.
Yeah, there's not one on the Illinois side.
There isn't? What's the one in Fairview
Fresh
by?
Time.
Oh,
Fresh
yeah, that's
Time.
right.
Fresh Time.
I've been in there. I got water from there, but they called it black water.
Ooh.
It was water from a spring up in Canada, and it's like jet black, but it tastes like water. I had to try it, so I was really...
Wow, that's not my reaction to that.
No.
Anyway, I must put that in my body. It's not really.
It's like that charcoal water. My daughter drinks that charcoal water.
Mm.
Like,
Does it do something for you?
I have no idea.
Seems like it would make it happen fast.
If you're watching on the YouTube stream, the motion that Annie made was not pleasant.
Sorry. This
All
was
right.
with my hand.
Whatever
for the
happened to
record.
just Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
You know, good grape Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
That's
Or
got
just
a
like
lot. We put a lot of
tap.
sugar in that. I know I did. I loved Kool-Aid. I never had soda as a kid. Always Kool-Aid.
And it was good to eat right out of the canister, too. That's the best.
All right.
Never had deep fried Kool-Aid.
Let's get back on the
What?
track.
Oh.
They make hush puppies out of it, and they deep fry it. Festival of the Little Hills in St.
X's
Charles.
and O's.
Oh, yeah. See, I tried, Annie.
Well, I saw you producing over there, and then my producer was like, about deep fried
No,
Kool-Aid.
we're gonna go off the rails.
I need y'all back.
There's a train station.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jen,
All right,
where would you like to be?
Number 1.
Number
and
1.
We're going to go to Annie.
Okay.
And Annie, oh my gosh, you know what? You've stumbled into an audio whoopee. Nope, he's got it labeled wrong. It's this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've
I
stumbled.
love all of the things we're learning about Ryan and how he functions.
Well, like some of them are labeled stumbled into. One of them says audio whoopee. One says AI.
In fairness, if you had to come run what I'm running over here,
True.
it would be hard for you to come over here. If I had to go do your Mark Cox morning show
Yep.
bit on the board, you have a system, so Ryan's is probably still weird though.
I salute Ethan Bright, who had to do it for me this morning. And we're still in the air, so everything's good.
Amen.
All right, so audio whoopee, or whoopee. This is a pop culture question.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce is reportedly in talks to host a revival of this game show. This is the theme song from that game show, without the vocals.
This sounds like the song you hear before you get on a Disney ride.
What game show is it?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
It's a great guess. Do you agree or disagree, Jen?
It's a total guess, Jen.
I am going to agree.
That is incorrect.
Oh, Jen, I'm sorry.
That's
It.
okay.
Does anyone in the room know?
No.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Why'd they pick Kelsey?
Yeah.
Because even a fifth grader knows how to play tight end.
No. Oh. That's Carl from the Mark Cox Morning Show.
You can
right there.
email me at mark-cox@odyssey.com.
Go Wildcats.
So that means that Colin gets
Oh,
the square. Hey,
no.
you actually put up your O before, and now you got it.
Yeah, how about that?
So is that one? Was that one?
That was one.
You get a circle.
Oh, all right.
Because I
Oh.
failed Jen. Oh, no.
Oh.
That's not how you're supposed to do it.
Oh, gosh. This may be my first
That's
loss.
a tic-tac-toe.
Not necessarily. There's still room.
I know that's not the game, but that is a three in a row.
Yep. Tic-tac-toe for
Very
Colin.
lucky. Very lucky.
All right. So, Jen, I'm sorry. Colin, you
Jen,
got one without
I'm
even
not.
trying.
You brought in the big guy.
So, Colin, you're up.
Okay.
What number and what expert?
Go with 4, and I'll go with Annie.
Okay.
Number 4, Annie. This is another Ryan Wiggins question. And he said he wanted me to play this audio bed because he's in Japan, his favorite J-pop song as a music bed. Japan is also in the news.
It's like he's haunting me.
This song is, it's fine.
Okay. Is this a real song?
Yeah, it's called, he didn't tell me the name of it, but it's by the band Puffy Amy Yumi.
Okay.
Or maybe it's Puffy by Amy Yumi.
Like Puff Daddy?
I don't know.
I don't think he's doing music these days. Anyway.
So, the question is, Japan is also in the news along with the USA as allies calling for the abolition of nuclear weapons where? A, space, B, Antarctica, or C, the Middle East?
Antarctica.
You say B,
B,
Antarctica.
Because it's a Ryan question.
Because it's a Ryan question. Colin, is that true or false? Real or fake?
That's
Agree or
fake.
disagree?
No, I don't agree with that.
You know, if you were going to have nuclear warfare and this music was playing, it would make it even scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one of those twisted Scorsese films or something like that where there's like total destruction happening and this music is happening in the back to make it even more uncomfortable. Anyway.
Well, it's uncomfortable, but Colin is right.
Colin
it's
is right.
A, space.
Space.
I changed it because it actually was B, space. But once I told you guys that, I couldn't just
Well, I
do
appreciate
it
it.
every
You
single
almost
time.
had me there.
Man,
I thought, I'll try.
I'm getting all the answers wrong in Colin's favor. Jen, I'm so sorry. I owe you dinner.
All right, Jen. Let's have some salvation here. Come on.
Okay. Well, I guess I need to go for number 7.
Number 7. Mega conglomerate.
Wait,
Who's she picking?
Oh, yeah. Who'd you have to pick?
Oh, I'll just keep going around the circle.
Okay.
Rat.
This is my last one.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Ryan screws
I'm
up
no
every
Ryan.
week.
I'm no Ryan Wig. Mega conglomerate Unilever, owner of Lipton, Hellmann's, and Q-Tips, among others, announced this week that they are divesting themselves of what woke category of goods? Brad, do you know? This is not multiple guess.
What was the name of the company?
Unilever.
And they're getting rid of a woke category of goods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're getting rid of their soft drink that's woke.
Soft drink that's woke. Jen, do you believe that or do you not?
It is wrong. It's
It
Ben
is
and Jerry's
wrong.
ice cream.
It's Ben and
Wow.
Jerry's. They're getting rid of all of
Hey,
the.
you should get 2 for that one.
I'm happy to be wrong on that one.
It's not just Ben.
Yeah.
They're
I
getting
said
rid of
toilet paper.
Popsicle, Breyers, and Klondike, but Ben and Jerry's is
Wow.
the main reason.
Yep, I remember reading that story.
See, you should have picked the
And who knew that
No.
Unilever
She knew. She
Right.
didn't
owned,
need me.
owned the Ben and Jerry's ice cream? I didn't know we were
Yeah.
eating soap.
Didn't know that either until the story came
Yeah,
out.
they have a lot of
A lot of
it's
stuff.
Mega.
Their logo,
Yeah.
their U
Has all
logo
of the things in
has
them.
their products in it.
Mhm.
It's a good logo trivia.
All right, we have 2 categories left. Colin, which number would you like?
6.
Number 6. Brad, I'll tell you later why this is a fantastic question.
Okay.
Did you write it or did Ryan?
No, I wrote this one.
Ryan's questions were good questions.
But I did tell Brad I wanted a certain one to be last, and it is last.
Hooray.
Who are you picking?
Who are you going to pick?
Leah.
Leah. Leah, this is a multiple choice question.
Okay.
But I wrote it.
Yeah.
The 2024 Olympics in Paris have lifted a ban on what activity? A, in-event selfies, B, intimacy, or C, marijuana?
Intimacy. Yeah, did I say
Do you
that right?
agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree is correct.
I don't know.
You're
Said
not.
that weird.
You're now allowed. How do I say this on
I don't
the
know.
Annie Fry
Seems
show?
difficult. They always handed out
The
colors.
Olympics,
I read the article.
Olympics is basically a big
Promiscuous.
orgy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, yes.
Because all these people that are in the top of their games want to hang out and hook up with people that are also in top of their physical forms. Olympians. And so it is they hand out condoms every year, but it was always done on the sly.
Yeah, not anymore.
Now you can do it.
That's just utterly shocking. And there's going to be no air conditioning, which we learned earlier in the show, which is bizarre. Yay.
Wow.
Yay. Boo.
All right, you get one more. What is that, an X and 6?
Yes.
An O.
An O.
Oh.
Did he get it right?
He did.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Well, if you get this, it's going to be as close to a tie as possible. 'Cause
Yes.
It'll be 2 tic-tac-toes, 5 squares to 4 squares.
All right.
Let's do it, Jen.
Number 9, and we'll
Number
keep
9.
it going around the circle to Lee.
That was Leah's
Oh, yeah,
last
that's
one.
the last
Oh,
one.
so it's Annie.
So
I
it's
hope you know
Annie.
the answer to this
Okay.
one too, Jen.
All right. Let's see.
I wanted this question to be last because it's going to lead into something else.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Where's the Mark Reardon Show broadcasting their final fish fry of the year?
Oh, crap. I don't know.
I said it earlier.
We were just talking, and I said
The answer
didn't wanna
is
say.
a fish fry.
Where is the Mark Reardon Show broadcasting their final fish fry of the year?
Do you know the answer?
Like the county or the actual
Either
hall?
one. I'll
Okay.
accept either one.
The St. Louis DMA.
Do you agree with that or not?
Wait, that could be true. And
I'm going to say no.
Well, that's not my real answer. Red Bud.
Red Bud in Illinois. Is that?
No, Red Bud, Missouri.
Never been there.
And I don't know if it exists.
I don't think it does.
I'm going to say no.
You're going to disagree because that is correct. It is at Queen of All Saints in Oakville
Which
today.
I assume is in the St. Louis DMA.
It
You'd
is.
have had to give that to
I
him.
would have given that
Okay,
to you.
thank you.
It is your show.
I didn't know how harsh you were going to be. All right, well, we have a tic-tac-toe for each of you. Colin, you did get the 5 squares to 4 squares.
Tic-tac-toe. A winner. A winner.
And that's your award. Please come play
That
again.
makes my week complete.
Jen Teskey, thanks for being in here.
You bet.
I wanted to mention one more comment before we go here. We got a comment from Noelle. Is that how you say her name?
Noelle.
Noelle.
Mhm. Yep.
Noelle W. on the YouTube channel said, "Hello, Annie. I'm listening today and heard Jen on. I'm part of Ed Glenn Habitat for Humanity. Jen also supports it in a big way. We have begun family selection for our next build. Please help spread the word." Can you talk a little bit about that before we wrap?
So we currently have a property under contract that was actually donated to
Wow.
Habitat for Humanity. So if you ever want to donate a house, you can donate it to Habitat for Humanity. They'll come in, fix it up, sell it, and then those proceeds are used to help with their next build. So Ed Glenn Habitat for Humanity does a lot of great things in our community, and it's just a wonderful organization. And as someone who's involved in the housing market, I'm proud to support them.
Well, Noelle, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I know personally that Jen is always working very diligently in the community, not just through Realty, but especially through Realty. So an opportunity to help there. JenTeskeyHomes.com. Now's the time. Spring's upon us.
Yep.
List your house.
Let's do it.
Jen will get it sold.
Yes.
Jen and her team at Remax Alliance. JenTeskeyHomes.com. Thank you both. Congratulations, Colin.
Yeah, thank you.
You really pulled through under a lot of pressure from Jen.
Hey,
She
you know,
she
it
was
was
ready
tough.
to throw it out.
It really was.
She is
I'm
formidable.
sweating.
Yeah. I think Jen knew more answers this week than I did. Carl, thank you. It's good to
You're
have
welcome.
you in here.
I'm glad to see
Will
you
you
all
do it
in
again?
daylight. I would.
Okay. I would. That sounds like
I would.
Well, I'll have my people call your people.
It's up to Trisha, you know. She runs
I
everything.
do. I know she does, and she's great at it. Let's take a quick break. Stick around because we're going to wrap up the show with the YouTube live chat poll. Would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically, yes or no? And Mark Reardon is broadcasting from
Oakville.
Oakville. You're going to want to be there for the fish fry. Go check out the fish fry with the Mark Reardon Show, or just keep here on 97.1 to listen when he picks up 3. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy houses direct and as is condition. Did you just inherit a house and you're not sure what to do with it? Maybe it's got a lot of stuff in there and you're really not sure what to do with the stuff and how to sell the house. Well, we do a lot of work with people that inherited property. We're very familiar with the probate courts. So if you have a house you just inherited, please reach out today. We'd love to make you an offer and simplify your real estate situation. KLAMEN Group.com.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 800 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 800. LUME deodorant.com, code 800 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. Love it or return it for free. That's LUME deodorant.com, code 800.
The time is 2:43, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. You can now still go to the YouTube live chat poll. Would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? Yes or no? Go to youtube.com/@AnnieFry.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Are you a business owner? Do you want your voice and the voices of your clients represented? Let us do the talking. Join our community of free thinkers on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Learn more at 971talk.com/partner.
The faster we're falling, we're stopping and stalling, we're running in circles again. Just as things were looking up, you said it wasn't good enough, but still we're trying one more time. Maybe we're just trying too hard, when really it's closer than it is too far. 'Cause I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep up above in my head instead of going under. 'Cause I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep up above in my head instead of going under. Instead of going under.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. There's been quite a lot of news developing, especially for a Friday afternoon. A lot of times the Friday news dump happens right after our show gets over. Today, we have started the show with a $1.2 trillion spending bill passed by the House. Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out and says that she's motioning to vacate the chair. So the speakership is up in question again. There's still some formalities that need to be ironed out with that before it is at the place that they're going to be actually bouncing Johnson out of that speakership. So we're going to have to watch closely to that. Then we had a 2-minute video release from the palace in with Kate Middleton announcing that she has cancer. And her abdominal surgery in January was initially expected to be non-cancerous. Of course, they found out that it was cancerous. She's been undergoing chemotherapy treatments as of late. And so she released this video, and we played that for you. It was around the 1 o'clock, top of the 1 o'clock hour. And now this is something I've been watching as the show kind of developed on Twitter, because there's some really horrific video on Twitter right now that you can check out, X, I should say. Fox News, I'm just going to read to you the Fox News report to make sure I get the information right. Shootings, explosion, and a fire at a concert hall Friday evening in Russia are being investigated as a terrorist attack, the country's top investigative agency said. And there are videos of just open fire in a theater room, and it's pretty horrific. So it's in Russia, just to reiterate. It's not here, it's in Russia. But it's just like one more indication that the world is quite a bit on fire. The YouTube live chat poll for today: would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? Yes or no? Carl's back in here. Do you want to answer this question? I should have asked you this before we went on air. I didn't know if you wanted to comment on it.
Well, the thing is, there is news that came out after this that his Trump Social is going to merge
That's
with.
it, yeah.
So
I haven't talked about that on the air yet.
and
'cause
so
that
it's going to
happened-
double his net worth. So
How
I don't
fast
know.
does that happen?
The shareholders of one company had to okay it, and they finally okayed it today. So I don't know how quick. I think it could take up to 6 months.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
Which
it's going to
is right
happen by
around-
Monday.
Right around it's
Mhm.
September, October.
Yeah, that's.
But I don't
election
know
time.
if that. I don't think it does. I'd say no. It doesn't help him or hurt him politically. I think it's neutral, but that's not an answer. So I'm going to say no.
No, Brad, you answered this earlier. Why don't you kind of reiterate what you think about
well,
this?
I said it would help him, because I think that people are going to start making Trump look more and more sympathetic. I mean, you can go after him and you can get justice. People will accept justice, but the more Letitia James talks, the more Joe Biden makes comments like making cracks about Trump not having any money and all this other stuff, the more it makes it look malicious and vengeful. And I think people don't like that. And the people that I think that are just like, I really would rather not vote for Trump, will look at this and go, I don't like Trump, but this ain't right. And so they would maybe then swing and vote for him.
I'm kind of in the Carl camp, because I can see how it will politically continue to help him in polls. Now, what you see in a poll versus who shows up on election day, those are the Republicans, and who shows up for the 30 months of voting beforehand, those are the Democrats. I don't know how that shakes out. So polls seem to favor Donald Trump when these legal issues look as crazy as they do right now. But I do think that, I mean, Trump might have a cash problem going into an election year, but he might not with Trump Social. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about anything.
But does it move the needle?
I just am the only people who could be affected by this are people who haven't already made up their mind. Who are you if you haven't made up your mind?
Did you not vote 4 years ago?
On Trump or Biden, or if I mean, Donald Trump lost in 2020, but he got 8. He persuaded 8 million more people to vote for him in 2020 in the media climate that he was under, with the accusations that he was under. 8 million people in this country more voted for Donald Trump. Usually the incumbency goes down. Not only did he not go down, it skyrocketed up. Donald Trump has gotten the most votes of any president ever in the history of the United States, save one, Joe Biden. What unfortunate timing to set that second place record. I wanted to, before we get to wrap up the show here and I give you the poll results, another thing that has developed over the course of today, and it's very sad, Riley Strain, the missing Mizzou student, has been found. His body has been found. And I'll just highlight here from the news article. Nashville, Tennessee police say on Friday they found the body of Riley Strain, a University of Missouri senior who went missing on March 8th. He's been missing that long. After going out downtown, authorities say Strain's body was recovered from the Cumberland River in West Nashville on Friday morning, about 8 miles from downtown. Police said on X that no foul play-related trauma was observed and an autopsy is pending. And the reason why I want to bring this up, and there's a very important and fragile way that we need to discuss this issue, because have you seen the videos out of spring break? Fox News has been doing spring break videos in Florida, and the absolute ridiculousness that's taking place on the beach with young people drinking, doing whatever type of drugs they're doing. It could just be pot. It could be whatever. Who knows?
Well, Lawrence Jones had some woman walk up to him and say, "I do cocaine and bronzer for breakfast."
Yes.
That was live on television.
Unbelievable. I mean, I'm watching this, and my kids are like, they slowly pan to me like, "Did you go to spring break, Mom?" And I go, "I went to Jupiter, Florida." And we were watching the Cardinals.
Spring break.
Yeah. We went to the beach, but that's because we couldn't afford to do much else, especially in Jupiter, in college.
So expensive in
Super
Jupiter.
expensive. But I can't imagine letting my kid go to Florida and to do that for spring break. The visuals are out of control. These kids are out of control. They're still acting like children. They're legal adults, but they're still acting like children. It seems to me like these students who were in Nashville from Mizzou were partying and having a good time. And the thing of it is that this type of behavior happens all the time. College kids are always going to be engaging in some of these risky behaviors, and it usually doesn't end like this. So my heart is so hurting for the family that lost Riley, the friends that were with him. A lot of people that I have been observing the reactions as they've been looking for Riley of people. Why didn't those friends stop him? Why did the bar overserve him? Why did the bar let him go?
Well, if they let him, they stopped serving him. That's why he left.
Well, but I mean, like, it's Luke Bryan's bar. What does Luke Bryan think about this? Why did nobody help him on the sidewalk? All of this video, like, to think about having your child's last moments be articulated the way they have been. It is so sad. But I think there are two things at play that we need to talk about in a moment like this, as hard as it might be, that we have to have a better expectation for ourselves. I think it says there's no foul play there. Riley obviously overindulged. If he's of age, it's legal to do that. It's legal for the bar to say, "You're done. Go on." From my understanding, if this is still the case, that the bar was kicking all of the friends out. Some of them had to pay their bill. He got out ahead of time, and then they just kind of. I've been around people who, as the night goes on, some people go one way, some people go other, and you just kind of catch up the next time you catch up.
Your friends, one of them always disappears, and you talk to them the next day.
Yes,
they're like, "I'm going home."
Like, Riley's story isn't unique until the ending.
Well, Kim St. Ange was a reporter down in Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and she was talking to her friends down there. And I don't want to speak for Kim, but some of the stories that she was hearing was where everything is, and it's very close to the river.
Yeah, that's like the people, when I was reading comments on Twitter that knew the area, were immediately saying.
And drunks, especially men, feel, I'll pee right here.
Mm-hmm.
And once they found his bank card at the river, everyone's mind's like, "Oh, he was peeing in the river."
Yeah.
And the mayor of Nashville says they want to put up a barrier where that is.
Well, okay. I'm not opposed to a barrier by the river. But as much as you try to raise your kids to do the right things and make the right decisions, that doesn't mean they're not going to overindulge. I did not like the immediate reaction, though, of blaming the bar, or of like trying to take it to the next level up to the Luke Bryan level. Like, Luke Bryan wasn't the one behind the bar serving the alcohol.
It's just his name on the bar.
Yeah. We have to start moving societally back into the place where we have to take some personal responsibility. We have to stop glorifying this kind of out of control behavior. And I think that I actually kind of like the Fox News is kind of showing what's going on at spring break, so that parents will be like, Yeah, I'm not sending you down to Florida with my money to go enjoy whatever it is that you're going to do. But like everybody's looking, the reason why people are looking for somebody to blame is because when you can put the blame on someone else, it makes your heart understand and feel a little more at peace with the issue because you're like, I know where to place that blame. We have to start having higher expectations for ourselves. And anybody who's overindulged before, you're not unlike the majority of people. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm calling anyone out, but I do think that we could collectively work to have higher expectations and more self-responsibility. I can never imagine being in a situation with my friends where you were in a different place and someone gets separated. And like, those friends, I feel bad for them because the level of responsibility that they're going to feel is going to haunt them for the rest of their life. And it's a lot to put on a person. I just feel like we need to take care of ourselves, honor ourselves, and try to spread that message a little bit more and be comfortable with that type of sobriety. I don't know. It's a sad story. I'm glad that there's a conclusion to it, though, because that story could have ended with no conclusion whatsoever. All right, let's look at the YouTube live chat poll. We needed to know from you, would the seizure of Trump's assets help Trump politically? You guys came in and voted, and 79% of you say yes, that it will help Trump politically. I don't think that this is going to have Donald Trump hoping his assets are seized, though. I mean, it is pretty outrageous. He's got cash on hand, True Social going public. We'll have to tune into the Mark Cox Morning Show on Monday to find out what happens next.
Oh, he'll tell you.
He will tell you, starting at 5 a.m. Thanks, Carl. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Annie.
Mark Reardon, Fish Fry, up next.
So beat the drum.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jules on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jules on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. So if you need some extra cash, looking for that one-of-a-kind piece, make Jules on Hampton your first stop. Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's ClearPath